Okay. I want
And
to ask you
it's
about the
something
show
that
too.
that's fitting because that's what this is leading to. But something I never asked you about. I caught wind of it maybe a few weeks ago, and I've been meaning to ask you, but it's been slipping my mind. So while it's on my mind, I want to ask you directly. What's your beef with Magna Carta?
It's trash.
You
That's
think
my
so?
beef with it.
You
Yeah.
think it's trash?
That
Hold on,
shit's, oh, that
you don't
shit
like
is
anything about it? What's trash about
uh
it? Let me ask you that. What's trash about it?
it felt like a money grab. It didn't feel like the Hove that I knew. It felt like he was coming, you know what I'm saying? Just like because this was the one where he released it and it was already platinum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
that's the
the
Samsung joint that he
Samsung
released.
joint.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he did that shit for Samsung, man. It didn't feel like he was doing that shit for niggas that fuck with him for real.
You don't like
And it was
what about the songs themselves on the album? I think he got some shit on there.
let's pull this up. Let me see.
It's not as like I think there's a conversation. What do you think is this his worst album in your opinion?
It's down now. This and my joint Kingdom Come. Them the worst too.
See, I'm not. You know what didn't age well? See, this one didn't age as well. I was excited when it came out. It's not his best work by any means, but I don't think I consider it as low as you do. I'm not the biggest fan of Blueprint 3 like that. There's some songs, but it's a whole project. It's just like,
Yeah, I don't like Blueprint 3 either. I don't
but
like
Picasso,
Blueprint 3.
baby, is my shit. Fuck with me, you know I got it. Oceans is my shit. Somewhere in America.
How often do you
I get
revisit
what you're
this?
saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't, I don't
Probably
revisit,
more.
Like, I was listening to the whole today, and this is probably where I stop. Well, no, I stop at probably American Gangster.
More than I revisited more than what you would probably be surprised. I think you'd be surprised at how often. I'm surprised at how often I revisit this.
That is surprising if you do revisit it a lot. Even with Kingdom Come, like I got joints on there. You know what I'm saying?
Do
Like
you want to ride and all that stuff? I know
that
that's
joint,
your
the Emery. Yeah, that's my shit. And Dig a Hole.
Yeah, Dig a Hole. Yeah, all that stuff. But American Gangster, the whole nine. So yeah. Anyway, it was just curious. I was like, I didn't know you disliked this album that much. But yeah, man, I was in.
How was the show, man? Speaking of Hove.
Yeah, man, I didn't listen to On Deck because I know y'all probably talked about it. I chopped it up with AB for a brief second because I know he was at the show. I forgot about it. Otherwise, I'd have tried to connect. When
y'all went the same night, I believe.
Yeah, we went the same night. We went to Blueprint. So that was my first time in the Bronx. I understand why people say they don't go to the Bronx. The Bronx is a different place out there. So I got all respect to all our New York listeners and everything like that. The Bronx is a little bit different, man.
What you
Bronx
mean?
Looks like
different.
It looked like it's 1993. Like, there's some places that I'm just like, yo, this is especially like once you. So me and my sister, that's what I went to the concert with. We were staying in Midtown in Manhattan, and I ended up catching an Uber to the Bronx. And where we ate before the concert, because we took a train back. I didn't feel like I didn't have the patience. I'm like, I'll pay for the Uber. It's all good. So we went to a restaurant in the Bronx, and it looked like Jersey. Kind of get you a mind of Jersey. There's yards and all that stuff. Like it was like, all right, then cool. We in the heart of the Bronx. Went to an Italian restaurant, man, got some food for the concert. And then as we were going towards the concert, you just saw started seeing the project buildings and started seeing all right, this is a lot more gutter, a lot more gully, a lot more like Bronxish, Raising Canaan, New Jack City. I know Raising Canaan is in South Side. I'm just saying as far as this New York,
what it look like.
Get it out how you live. And that was my first time at Yankee Stadium. So it was a cool experience just getting there, like the atmosphere around. It was it's hard to really explain. You had to be there and feel it in the air, no pun intended. Shout out to Beans. But you had to feel like kind of the energy that was there for these shows, especially coming off the heels of night one, Reasonable Doubt. You knew it was a big deal. Shout out to MT, man. I saw my guy Matt outside. We get in there. He took over. So normally they got Yankee flags flying on top of the stadium. They took all of them down and put Rock Nation flags up. And then when you go into the gift shops and stuff, the team store, it's all Jay-Z 30 merch. Yes. Like all over. Multiple team stores. Like, so they really took over the whole spot. And everybody
it was different stuff
there,
at each merch spot too, I heard.
Not necessarily. Some stuff was just like, so for example, I stood in one line. The shirt I really wanted was sold out in my size. And I was going to get a white one. I'm like, nah, man, because white get dingy too quick. So I went ahead and found it at another spot. But it was just everybody was there excited, man. There was real whole fans. There was all Jay fans. It wasn't like no casual shit like, oh, this is something to do. If you're going to take the time to actually make your way out to New York, to the Bronx, get the tickets, you had to be a fan of what was going on. And that's what it felt like. Everybody there was just excited. Everybody had their Timbs and they New York hats on and they fits and all that stuff. And it just had a certain energy, like an adult energy. You feel me? Like there was the grown mans, the unks and aunties was out, but in a good way.
It was for certain people, yeah.
Like we all understood each other in there. And there's just something about, and I said this on Threads, man, something about hearing your favorite artist perform your favorite album. And you just sitting there rapping bar for bar, word for word with it, man.
Was you doing the rapper hands?
I was doing the rapper hands. I was doing the rapper hands, all that shit, man. Hearing Never Change live was big for me. I've been to, that was my fifth. Song Cry was dope. So that was my fifth Jay concert that I've been to. And, I don't think I'd ever heard, I might maybe Never Change once, but Never Change one of my favorite Jay records ever. I saw something online where somebody mentioned, he was at the concert and there's an older dude behind him. And, he changed his cool to cops, but more important, the lawyer fees. The older dude that said, like, I came here just to hear that line. I literally came to this night just to hear that bar. Like, there's something about that song. And Song Cry, the same thing, man. And the way he flipped these and he did girl. Like, his transitions were crazy. So a lot of people saw that on night one with him and Nas. They rapping over each other beats and all that. But, like, there's a moment where he's doing Girls, Girls, Girls. In the second verse, he switched the beat to the Destiny's Child's Girl, like, and just rapping over that. And obviously he didn't do Takeover, but when Eminem came out, he did obviously his verses on Renegade, but he also did Lose Yourself. Yeah, and when he did Lose Yourself, they switched the beat to Takeover on part of the song. And just kind of had them transitions that was just crazy. Like, he did Niggas in Paris, but he also rapped Big Pimpin' over niggas. He meshed them. It was almost like that Linkin Park album where he was just meshing his own shit with other things, man. That shit was just fire and flawless. And that nigga breath controlling his flow, like no backtracks, just killing it. Now, the one thing I will say, and I've heard a lot of people saying is that night two probably was the least exciting night. Yeah, of all of the other two. So Reasonable Doubt, obviously, that's his first album. He got a lot of attention. The guests that he brought out. Beyonce hit the stage. Blue was playing the piano. Bleak came out for his version for coming of age. Jaz-O came out, and probably other people that I'm not thinking about right now. Nas came out. All of that stuff goes on. Blueprint, really, we just had Eminem and Pharrell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nothing. I was predicting maybe Beyonce comes out on Heart of the City or Song Cry, maybe sing a verse. They got Alicia Keys night one too. But we didn't get none of that. We got Slick Root came out for Lottie Dottie. This nigga laughed. We get Eminem, which was at a crazy crowd pop.
It's concession stand time.
Time to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go and get in line.
But Eminem had a crazy crowd pop when he came out, which I was expecting.
Yeah, because you don't really see him.
Only feature.
You hardly ever see him. Was it worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I wasn't one of those people that was like, because night three, I know it came off to a crazy start. And they didn't start till like midnight, but he brought everybody out. Like, it was like a Jay-Z and Friends all-star. But go ahead.
Would you swap a day if you could? Like, looking back at it now, you still would with the Blueprint.
Because, man, like, comparisons to Thief of Joy. And when those concerts were announced, I knew I wanted to hear Blueprint because what that album means to me. I got everything I wanted. Everything else was just a bonus. So when people talk about night three, about our Jeezy, Usher, Rihanna, Beyonce, Clips, Pharrell, like, I get it, and that's dope. But I came to see a Jay-Z concert, and I got a Jay-Z concert, and I got my favorite Jay-Z album, and got to see it from start to finish, rapping bar for bar. Everything else was a bonus. The Pharrell medley was dope. Like, you really don't remember how many you remember it, but to see it back to like all the hits they got, you got to hear Allure live. You know what I mean? One of my favorite J tracks. You sing it word for word. So it was just a good ass time, good vibe, good energy, man. Got to enjoy with my big sis. And overall just had a great trip. But yeah, it looked dope. Don't get me wrong. Night three looked dope. Night one looked dope. But I'm not gonna say I regret going because all the extra stuff I've seen before for the most part. And I'm not it's not like these people were doing full sets. Like I've seen. Did I need to hear Fat Joe and Jada do? I'm from New York. Like I didn't have to. It'd have been cool. Like it would have been cool to see Jeezy. Like that. That's somebody I really wish I could be able to see on Saturday. But it's cool that I missed it. I've seen Jeezy live before by himself. Like it ain't ain't the end of the world. We got
Would you
Pharrell
go
on
to another
Saturday.
show? Like,
I'm
would you go
thinking
to the
about
LA
going.
show?
I'm
I
thinking
might go
about
to LA.
I'm not thinking about it. I am going to another
You
show.
going to
Like I
LA?
know people been. Yeah, LA look like that's what it is. I know people talking about going to Paris because it's cheaper. Like just the tickets is cheaper.
Joint.
That
Paris joint sounds tempting, bro. I wouldn't mind going to Paris. To see
I wish
it.
the Paris joint was in October and not September. If it was in October, if it was the date as the LA show, I think it'd be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So I got to figure it out. Just because I don't know. Somebody said on night 3, he mentioned something about I'll see y'all here next summer. I know Pharrell teased that there was some new music coming.
Probably the album. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll
probably
see.
him touring off that album.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. I'll definitely go to that. But I just want to see Jay as many times as you can. He a family man. A man 50. He about to be 57 in December. Like I don't know how many Jay-Z tours are left, and this one was like a youthful. Like it felt like everybody was outside, man. Everybody wanted to be experienced. The amount of you can tell by threads, just the people still talking about it to this day. The amount of people who had FOMO, like the amount of people like, man, I really wish I could have made it. It was just a time, man. It was a really good time. I'm curious to listen to On Deck and hear what AB had to say about it. But man,
he has some
similar
sentiments. He has some similar sentiments to you. I'm mad I missed it, but I didn't want. I didn't want to be around that many New York people. I ain't gonna hold you.
You wouldn't. It's funny. I ran into.
I know I wouldn't know. Really?
Which out? Yeah, because that's the thing about being in cities like that. People just walking
just see
by.
people out. Facts.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I was like, oh shit, what's up, Knight? And he said, what's up? Dapped me up and kept it moving. Like it was just one of those cool moments. But it was dope in there, man.
I think the LA show is gonna be more my vibe. I think I might try to do that. Yeah, I think that's.
Think you gonna bring out Kendrick for that LA show?
They ain't got nothing together, do they? They just ain't just cause.
Bitch don't kill my vibe.
Yeah, the remix. Yeah. You're right. Hey, Mike, that would be big.
He just like to do the surprises and pull people out. So I think he kind of set the bar high for himself because now everybody wants one of those Avengers type of shows that he did. Where Usher was on his off day.
He can do it. Yeah, exactly. Jeezy canceled his show.
It's his own show. You know how
hot I'd have been if I went out there. Tiana Taylor. Yeah, man, listen to me. If I was out in Vegas and wanted to see that Jeezy show.
Yeah, people was talking about some. Yeah, well, Ticketmaster get your money back. I said, fuck that money for the ticket.
I want my money back.
Flight. I need my hotel.
I want to see Jeezy, nigga.
Yeah,
I want my money back. I don't know. I guess Hove is the call that you got to answer for that. I guess if Hove be like, bro, can you pull up? Even if you got a show, you got to do it. Even though Mary J didn't do it. Because she had a show, that's why she couldn't come.
She had a residency, and Ja Rule was out there at her show, which is why he didn't come out for New York. It was just dope. Like I said, they did New York with Fat Joe and Kiss. That's his song.
I mean, we don't need him. It's
That's
cool.
fair.
I don't think he got the call. I know what you mean. Right. I don't think he got the call. I don't think he got the call at all. No, that's dope, man. It was good watching and seeing people enjoy it. I don't know if I could have made that third show with the delay being blocked out. Yeah, that was crazy. They said it ended at 3:00. And if you're somebody from out of town, you leaving the next day, probably got to catch a flight at 6. So that's something to consider as well. But it was good, man. I don't think that we see people do. We ain't seen nobody like, and I know y'all ain't here for I guess y'all might be, but what Hove did this year, like me and AB talked about it a little bit on deck. Like if he drop an album somewhere around October, November, you're talking about him being at the topic of conversation in hip hop for the whole year. From the GQ interview to everything that he's done to lead up to this, to the rollout of Jay-Z 30, to these concerts, like
you're talking about a joint. You got the
HBO joint when that come out, like
album. And then I'm imagining the Super Bowl, and then I'm imagining the tour.
Super Bowl will be OD.
I'm pretty sure
that might be what this in preparation for.
It makes complete sense. He ain't done one.
I hadn't thought about that.
He runs the show. He ain't done one. I think he's always been
the Super Bowl at this year. You know
LA.
where it's at?
I'm pretty sure it's
The
in
Super
LA.
Bowl in LA.
I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
I don't know. He can't. I don't know if he gonna be able to do that Super Bowl though. That would be fire. I agree with you, and I know he can, but I don't
You
know
say you don't think
that
you're gonna do what you mean? Yes, in LA. It's Valentine's
just
Day.
tipping people. I think that he ain't ducking no criticism because he getting it for the Target shit and he getting it for other things. But I think that people would try to call foul if he booked himself for the Super Bowl show. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that people would try to do this thing that they do. Mentioning
But
Slick Rick, this nigga at the ESPYs. What is Slick Rick doing at the ESPYs?
Slick Rick, man, show some respect. Well, you know what's crazy is I don't think he cares because he's at that
He
point now
cared
where no
because he
matter
keep
what
putting
he
that shit in
does.
freestyles though.
No, what I mean is I don't think he's letting it stop any of his moves. Like anything I do, y'all gonna have something to say about it. So why would I let y'all dictate what's going on here, this, that, and third? But it was a good time, man. Was in Baltimore as well. Got to see my niece, spend time with the fam, eat some crab, some Maryland crab. Was my Baltimore folks, man. Dude,
Blue crab.
all the accents and stuff like that. Nah, I was just Dungeness. I ain't had no blue crab. I'll probably get some next time. So I'll be back next month. But yeah, man, we are back. Another week in the books, man. Book 2, Chapter 69. The health and therapy episode, man. Here, your host Rich, joined by the legend Spike Lou. Spike Lou, it's been a couple weeks, man. How you feeling, brother?
Been good, man. Been head down, pushing forward, trying to get to it. That's it. So I'm glad we're here to talk. You know, I've gotten some texts, people talking about where y'all at. It's been 24 hours, nigga. Where you at?
Yeah, man. Been whole days, nigga. Where y'all at? It's funny because we didn't have you called me and then I called you back. We weren't able to get on the line on Monday, and I was thinking to myself today, like, man, these calls have been a part of my week now because I felt a little bit like, damn, I ain't talking to my dog. Like, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where I felt the absence of the phone call, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing in a sense because that means that we've established something that's a little bit more permanent and routine. So I'm happy that we got it. So I know schedules were busy. You were calling me and I was on my way back.
I figured you was traveling.
Yeah, I was traveling, and then I tried to get you, and I was like, you probably was getting ready to record, so it just didn't work out.
Pressing record when you called.
Yeah, that's part of our intro. We know we like to do the cold opens, but part of it was these are stuff I normally ask Spike Lou about on the phone when we talk, and I would have given the rundown of the show and all that, but we didn't have a chance. So it was good to be back. Before we get in the episode, I do want to read a couple comments that we had. Of course, when we last left you on Chapter 68, David was on. It was myself and Dave, which was a good conversation, man. I appreciate our talk, man. I appreciate that, man. He left a comment. Rich, I love listening to this episode. Our conversation felt natural and needed. This is therapy for me with the fire emojis. And then Golden Child wrote in another great episode, guys. And thanks again for the investment tips. It was fun talking to Dave, man. It was fun chopping it up, just me and him. Yeah, because that was our first time really being one-on-one. We usually have a buffer, whether it's you or someone else. So just to have that convo with him and pick his brain, and some of that talk I was able to use in conversations I had with family, because you see the title of the episode with health and therapy. We'll get into while we're discussing that, but after my second therapy session, I was on my phone with my mom for like 45 minutes. And it's funny because
how often you talk to your mom on a weekly basis? Out of state. Out of city now.
We text probably every day because we in a group chat, me, her, and my sister. But as far as just talking on the phone, once, twice a week.
Same.
It's easier. It's easier for me because she now, she's not living by herself. She's living with her dude, her partner, her guy. So that puts me at ease a lot more, knowing that she just ain't dolo, at her old spot. Like, so she's got somebody there looking out and stuff. So that, I got his number as well. But yeah, we talk and, just catch up and stuff like that. But I try to make a point to make sure I call her and talk about, like I said, after therapy, I make sure I reached out to her. And it's funny because she had mentioned that she wants to do it. It's something that she's looking into to do, but also just her mindset on therapy. Like when I told her I was doing therapy, one of her first thoughts was, I wonder what's going on in his life that he feels he needs to fix, or he's not. And I'm like, it wasn't even like that. You know what I mean? That's just that generation. I'm like, it wasn't even like that. Yeah, she was like, thinking that she might have done something wrong as far as being a mom or a parent. I'm like, nah, ma, I had a great childhood. Like it ain't that
That's
at all. It's
interesting.
more so me being curious. Yeah, but that's just funny because I think they come from that's one thing me and my therapist talked about where that generation is they just had a lot of feelings that they didn't know what to do with. And my mom just having a convo with her, some of the revelations I got from my second session, we were just having a really good talk. And she talked about her and her siblings, my aunts and uncles, and just kind of operating out of a place of fear more than anything. Just like maybe not reaching their potential in life, like just not knowing how far they can take things, or just not really living up to that next level that they could. Because, like I said, they just had a lot of stuff they didn't know how to convey or really know what to do with. What are you about to say?
Ah, yeah, that's it's interesting that whole generational thing, like you said, her viewpoint of therapy. I saw something this week that made me think of it as far as the generational shifts. I sent it to you and Dave, but it's just
Yeah, yeah,
interesting,
yeah,
like
yeah. I read that. That shit was crazy.
the Gen Z shit. Like
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody about how true it was because like they generation, like they not buying the bullshit. They not going for it. Like they ain't working themselves to death. They ain't staying at the job too long. They not doing none of that, bro. Like they
Mhm.
using all the big jokers to be like, nah, get out of my face, bro. I'm not doing this. And it's irritating to us because we bought in. Like our
Yeah.
generation, like we was like, nah, okay, you got to do this. You got to go to school and get a job, and it's gonna work. And we didn't realize it until late. Like all that was bullshit. And then you talk
Yeah.
about our parents' generation where they fully believed in it because they taught it to us. And they
Mhm.
let they talk, no, this is what you do, this is how it works. And it's just interesting listening to and having access to the different generations now. I wish I knew more young people too, but just like it's just interesting hearing the perspective of different generations. Like even with what you were saying about the therapy, I just think that where we are like as a mindset generationally is very it's a really interesting like just thing to look at on a daily basis for me. Like even more so like I'm tired of the news and the fucking war with and all this bullshit that Trump got out. So it's been more interesting to me to find stuff just like how Gen Z look at shit, how we look at shit as millennials, how the generation before us, I think it was, I don't even know what they call it, boom. Well, boomers is my mom's generation, and then Dave's generation is something different. Uh,
They not Gen X.
is that what Dave's generation is?
I think
Gen
so.
X? Yeah. But it's just, I love being at this stage in my life where I get to hear access from just the different generations, and I'm
Yeah.
old
Gen X
enough to
is
understand. Yeah,
before us.
Gen X is before us, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's just interesting. So you saying
Um.
that with your mom saying I could assume most older people would think that like, well, what you got to go to therapy for, and then our generation is like more so like, well, nigga, I ain't going for really anything. I'm curious.
That's what it
I
was.
want to know.
So,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I want to know more about what I've seen these things online. I've read these things. We got access to these things to talk about our mind. I want to know more about it from somebody who studied it. I think that's the approach that I've always taken when I went to therapy. The times that I went, and I'd be very curious to know what a younger generation does think about it.
yeah, that's fascinating when you say it like that. I'm sure they lean into it more as a normalcy. That's the one thing that I see a lot, even with lifestyle like choices, like just being in New York and just traveling, um, just seeing people like the clothes they decide to wear, how they identify. You know what I mean? Like literally the stuff that is normal for us, and every generation has this. Um, to where you got to think about like the boomers, for example, like the first Gen X person that had an earring or just grew their hair, the first guy that grew their hair long and all that stuff, that probably had to be the most shocking revelation to them because that's not what they do. So all these things that seem so normal now, they were pushed to limits at some point. So it does make you think. It reaches a point where the world you knew, with the world you grew up in, just disappears in front of you. And I always, sometimes I ask my mom about that, just how difficult that is to kind of just see the life that you were raised with just kind of vanish in front of you. Not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, just things are different. You know what I mean? When you look around, you just see stuff. Now there's a new norm for all of these things, and it's a lot to keep up with, and it's a lot to. I know when people talk about just certain changes that older people struggle with, especially when it comes to identifying and not wanting to misgender and mislabel people. It's like, bro, like all this shit is new. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just like, yo, y'all asked me to do all this new shit, and I'm fucking 60 or 55 or whatever. Like, nigga,
And
like
it
I
really
grew up.
don't make sense to me.
It don't.
Not
Yeah,
only
that's
am
what.
not only is an adjustment, like we younger and it don't kind of we understand, but we don't for real. But even with today's generation, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
interesting just from that perspective, just because um, I guess I'm just fascinating with generations and how people view the world and just different lens and all of that stuff, man. It makes me, a lot more introspective and wanting to find out information from our elders as I get into it. But yeah, man, you asked me what I wanted to talk about today, and I
Real quick
mentioned, yeah,
before you move on from it, because you speak about our moms, are you at a point since you're not in the same city? You said you talk to your mom 2 times a week. Like if she don't answer when you call, not on like does it bother you? Are you worried? Like do you
happened. That
call
happened.
back?
Yeah, that happened that probably happened right after my dad passed. Like it's just that eerie feeling of reaching out to a parent and they don't answer. Like
Yeah,
that's just one of
it's
those.
funny how that is at this age, right? Like my
Yeah.
mom,
So
I'll go ahead.
I was going to tell you that I remember there was a time I was still living in Cincinnati. I remember hitting my mom up. She ain't answer. And then I hit her up again later. She ain't answer. And I was like, hell nah. So I literally left work and drove to her
Yeah,
spot. And she was in there kikiing it up with someone. And I'm just like, Ma, like, I hit you up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't answer, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, you can't. I explained to her. I said, Ma, you got to understand, man, my heart drop every time. If you don't answer your phone, I just think about dad. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I think about me trying to reach out to him and not getting a response and knowing something was wrong. And she was like, oh, I ain't think about it like that. But she was in there just living her best life and doing her shit. So it was just funny. But I don't think I ever would have done that. Like, leave my job and go check in. Like, yo, are you good?
but you're at the age now where that's appropriate though. Like, cause you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
our mom's and but I had the same experience. Like, my mom's birthday was yesterday, and
Shout out to moms, man. Happy birthday to
yeah,
her.
happy birthday, moms. And so we had been missing each other. Saturday, she hit me up. I was doing something. So I called her back after I got done, and she couldn't answer because she was doing something. She called me back. So I ain't talked to her Saturday. And Sunday, I hit her up. She didn't answer. And then yesterday was her birthday, and I hit her up, and she didn't answer. And then I was like, hold on, it's been like 3 days. I didn't try to call mom Deuce and she ain't answer. So I did a double call. It's like, and she still didn't answer. So I text her. They're like, hey, what you doing? I know it's your birthday. And she didn't respond. And I called my cousin. And I was like, hey, wait, you talking to my mama? Like, what she got going on? So when she sent
Mm-hmm.
me she was at work, but she sent me a video of my mom dancing in the backyard for her birthday. Like you said, kikiing and having
Yeah,
the best life.
like you
Yeah,
stressed the fuck out, and here you
like,
are.
hold on. She living her best life dancing the fucking 2 Chainz and shit. Which I loved to see it. I'm glad that she had fun on her birthday. But it's interesting at this age as we start to grow and get older. It's like when you reach out and you so used to getting the pickup, you so used to getting the like, hey, there ain't never no time that my mom called me that I don't answer really, or a time that I call her and she don't answer. Like I'm her only son, like shit, like that's the relationship that we have. So to hit her up 3 days in a row and I haven't talked to her, it was like, hold
Yeah,
on, like what's going on?
that would
Yeah.
have been I'd
I
have
almost
done.
made the trip to Nashville, like what you
Nah, for
said.
real. You at
That's why I
that
had to
point
hit
now.
cuz up. I had to hit cuz up and be like, yeah, have you seen my mama? What she got going on?
Yeah,
But yeah, it
that's
was
real
fun. It was
though.
her birthday. I'm glad she had fun. But I just wondered that at this age, like I
Did you
just
give
left
her
a
the
couple
talking
weeks
to?
ago. No, it was her birthday. The birthday gave her a pass. And she said she did acknowledge that she had left her. Like I know we had just missed each other over the weekend because usually I'm busy on the weekends, and whether it's doing something for the podcast or whatever else I got going on. So when I hit her back, I figured she was probably busy doing some weekend pre-birthday shit. So I understood that it was just the birthday. I ain't never not talked to her on her birthday.
Yeah,
So I hit her
yeah,
twice on her birthday and she didn't answer, but she lost her phone somewhere in the house and couldn't find it, and she didn't have her watch on her to answer it either. So she told me what like she didn't. She hit me up when
yeah.
she got through though.
You'd be like, damn, you glad she okay? But you're like, man, don't
Yeah,
do
be
that.
like, hey,
Like
dog,
that
don't do
Denzel. It's
it.
like that Denzel gift where he just like, oh, like relieved. Like I'm glad you good,
Mhm.
but shit, don't do that to me no more.
Facts.
Um,
No facts.
Yeah, man. I was you had hit me up as we talked about what we're going to discuss, and I mentioned immediately therapy.
Hmm.
This is what it's a new. As I mentioned to someone, I was talking to my boy. He pointed out something that I said. I said, this is the first time I've done therapy for myself. And he was like,
Hmm.
dang, that's what he said. That's what hit me because he said he's done therapy, like couples therapy, and he done marriage. He's not married anymore, but done all of that. But he had never sat down with his own thoughts and his own feelings and stuff like that. So me as well, when I did my therapy, it was like after my dad passed and things. I never went into it for, hey, I want to know more about myself. So that's been the most important thing, and it kind of transpires or kind of like weaves in with what I started this year with. So I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 in January. And I told myself, like, yo, I got to start getting ready for 40 now. I don't want to be 40 trying to get ready for my 40s. I want to do everything now, which means for me, that just meant getting better physically, mentally, spiritually. You know what I mean? Just trying to get aligned and try to really look and see what the type of person that I wanted to be and focus on self improvement. So physical, me being in the gym, but also that wasn't the half of it, man. I actually had a doctor's appointment today. And I can't tell you, embarrassingly, I couldn't tell you the last time I really went to the doctor. Usually, a doctor's a trip is something that I do if I absolutely need to, like, yo, something's hurting or I need to do X, Y, and Z. But this one was all me. Got some blood drawn, like running my labs, the whole nine, like all shit that I ain't done for real. And it was just important for me to just make sure I know what's going on with my body, especially when you're trying to get in shape and you're trying to get fit and make sure you hit your target. Like the doctor can tell you like what it is that you got going on, or they can run your blood and just see cholesterol and just stuff that you don't think about when you get younger. As you get older, you start thinking about your family history and anything that do people have conditions? Does this ailment run in my family? All of that stuff I want to be aware of and making sure that I'm ahead of the curve, not too late. It doesn't harm. It felt good to know. My physical was good. All my questions that I did have about health were answered. I got a call tomorrow. I'm gonna have a call tomorrow to go over my lab results from my blood test and stuff. But there was some sense of relief just knowing that I was able to do that, schedule it, get it done. Because I think part of the battle is knowing what's going on with you. Sometimes it's easier to just pretend that everything cool versus really knowing. I know there's a relief of knowing everything's okay, but also what if there wasn't? Like, what if I get a call tomorrow when there's something going on that is kind of serious? It's just like,
I
damn,
think
like,
that's what keep most men from going to the doctor. They know something may be wrong and they don't want to hear it.
yeah.
I'm like you. I need to go get my yearly physical too. I haven't
When's the
done it
last time you
since.
had one? Just out of curiosity, if you don't mind sharing. Like, has it been like me?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
like you.
Like, so
Yeah,
they do like, and that's one of the things. But it's funny, man. 'Cause you get to a point in life where none of that shit matter. Like, I ain't like, you know what I mean. You almost get embarrassed to even admit to someone, to a doctor, how long it's been since you've been to a doctor. But when you really like on your shit, that don't matter, and they don't care. They happy you there.
yeah. They're just
Like,
trying
you
to
know what
give
I
you the
mean?
right information. Yeah,
Yeah. So they was, have you had a tetanus shot? I said probably when I was 6. Like, I don't know. So I got a tetanus shot today too, and like I said, it was just they trying to figure out like when the last time you've been to the doctor. I said I honestly couldn't tell you. Can you say more than 10 years? I said probably more than 10 years. Like I've had a physical somewhere in that line, but outside of that, I didn't get like yearly check-ins and
So
stuff. So
what
it's like,
if you want to share? What made you want to go now? Like what made you schedule and go do it now?
so two things. One was, as I told you earlier, I knew it was something I wanted to do this year. I had to do just in my quest of like making sure I'm good physically, mentally, spiritually. I wanted to make sure that I broke that like chain of men, black men specifically, not going to the doctor. So I knew I wanted to get checked out, make sure I was, doing all the right things to be healthy and reach those goals that I had by the time I reached 40. But I also have a coworker, white dude, who is similar. He hadn't been to the doctor. He grew up in a family that just didn't go to the doctor, right? So it was a service that's provided by my company. And I'm like, well, shit. He was like, man, I scheduled something. I got like blood work done and this, that, and the third. I got my full test. He was just going on and on about it. And he was like the one for 2 or 3 days. Like, hey, man, like schedule something, man. Go check it out. Like, it's interesting what is finding going on with your body. Like, he came back and was telling me things like, yeah, they found this in my blood and I got to cut this out. So it was just fascinating hearing him talk about it, and not just hearing him talk about it, but him text me like, hey, man, you set up your appointment yet? Like on some of that. So it was like, you know what? This is a sign, as we talked earlier in one of these chapters, things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Facts.
So I'm
I'm
thinking
gonna go
like, all
get
right,
me
this
a.
is get you a what?
Ozempic prescription.
Get you a gym membership, man. I mean, you ain't at Ozempic
I
level
already
yet.
got that. I already got that.
He said, "All right, got that. Get your ass in the gym. We got to
Nigga,
bring
give
back
me the
shaming. We
Ozempic,
got to
bro.
bring back bullying and shit, man. Bully your ass in the. But just
I'm finna
knowing
hit
that
that
I
Ozempic, bro. I'm telling you.
GLP-1, you better do the pill or the shot.
Facts. Yeah, man. Either whatever work. Whatever work. Man.
You
I need to lose
ain't,
about
you ain't
40
that big,
pounds.
bro. You ain't that big.
I
Yet.
was podcasting this week. I am though. I have done got. I feel like
You
I
think
done
so?
got that big. Yeah, I feel it now. I feel it more than I felt it before. And people comment on it. Like I was
How do you feel
recording
about
it.
that? No, go ahead. Tell your story, and then
Embarrassed.
I'll go back to my question. You were recording the other day, and what?
Yeah, I was recording. You know, people be assholes. It was a live that I was doing with frames per second. Niggas in the comment talking about, man, Spike Lee got fat, man. It'd be so funny how people online, they don't care. Like it's just they ain't no consideration at all. And even when I went home, my mom said, God damn. Like that was the first.
Damn, for real? See, you know what's interesting to me?
What's that?
When you talk about this, we just linked up a few months ago, but I don't know you. That's my I don't.
Yeah.
So apparently, there's a smaller Spike Lee out there.
Yeah,
used to.
It is.
Because I know you mentioned
but I've been this size. Like I've been this size, but maybe no, I don't think I've ever been this heavy. This heavy as I've been since high school, probably. And
yeah, I mean that's
younger, you carry it different. Yeah, you younger, you carry it different. When you older, it don't look flattering at all. Like you be younger, I could be the same weight, but I worked out every day and lift weights and all that shit. So it was in different places. Now it's just stomach, nigga. So it's just very obvious. So I'm definitely, I need to schedule my doctor's trip and see what that GLP-1 talking.
You serious about that part?
I'm not opposed to it. But you got to work out when you do that shit too. So,
well, yeah, absolutely. You gotta work out, and obviously they got to give you your approval to get one. I always tell people, man, listen, do what you got to do to get healthy. Some people that's beneficial and healthy for them. I don't know what your metrics are or anything like that. You didn't strike me as someone who I would look at and say, "Oh, you need to get on that GLP-1." But if you feel that's the case, and that's what it is, like we all.
I'm really fucking around. I know it really is. I tell you what it is for me. I genuinely, and it's a lifestyle thing. I do not have time like to go to the gym. I know I need to carve time out, and we talked about this at nauseum. I'm not a 5:30 a.m. nigga. Like I'm just not trying to be that. It's not appealing to me at all to wake up at 5:30 and go to the gym. I would rather it fit somewhere in my schedule, and I just haven't found the place to fit it there. So that's just a thing, and that's the GLP-1 part I was talking about. What'd you say?
I just sent you a picture. This is motivation for me. Somebody took a picture of me, and I couldn't believe how I looked.
Yeah, I got like you see that's how I was online. Yeah, that's how I was looking at it when they said that. And
when I seen it, I was like, oh man, I look like that because you walk around and you kind of don't know, or you might have a different idea what it is. So that was taken I think last summer, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, hell nah, I can't, I can't be running around looking like that. I look crazy in that picture. So that was the motivation I had that I need
the same for me.
To look at. So doing something about it is all that matters. So I want to get into just the emotional side of it, on some real shit. So
what's that?
You mentioned embarrassed. How do you feel when people are commenting about your body like that? Because we don't talk about it from a man perspective, where you getting body shamed for real. You know what I'm saying? I know it might sound
it's easy. No, I get what you're saying. It's easy to laugh it off as a man because. In my opinion, because at the end of the day, you can get in the gym and do something about it. I'm not self-conscious about it. I'm still who I am. I think men don't their body ain't as much as their identity as women, and their identity is attributed to their body. We see fat niggas that get chicks, and you see over as long as I feel like for men it always go back to how successful are you.
Yeah.
Like that's always the thing that it goes back to, and a lot of men can lean on being unhealthy or having an unflattering body and be like, nigga, I got whatever it is in the bank. So like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but also for certain women, like you have whatever it is in the bank. If you're not healthy, like certain women live that healthy lifestyle. Also, too, to your point, I'm not embarrassed by it. Maybe reading the comment was embarrassing, and maybe that's even a strong word because I don't really care what that random person on the internet said. I had just been thinking it, and to have someone
Mm,
confirm it, because I feel it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
just I feel heavier. So
Yeah.
seeing someone like feeling that way and having that thought while I'm walking around, and then a motherfucker randomly say that, you be like, God damn it, like that
Yeah.
should be a wake up call. But still, in the same of being a man and having somebody say that a body same, like, I don't give a fuck, niggas. Like, you can't beat my ass, probably. Like I don't care. I really don't care. It's more so for me and wanting to look good, and like you said, not have them unflattering pictures or being able to go, be just look good in your clothes. As a man, I feel like that's what it's about too.
Yeah, that's real.
As to Yeah, you don't want to look like the old nigga with the big fat ass belly and the gray beard. You're like, oh, this nigga washed. Like you ain't you like
I think that's
you
what it
walking
comes
in the
down to
spot
for me.
now. Yeah, you walk in the spot now looking like that, and you it's one of the things I heard one of the young people say that I thought it was dope. You walk in the spot looking like that, you an NPC now, like non-playable character. Like you just one of them random motherfuckers just walking around on Grand Theft, like nobody noticing you. Like you just
Yeah.
a little fat motherfucker with a big stomach. Versus if you walk in there looking like something, then you a main character. So I thought that was interesting way to
That's
put
funny.
it, and yeah, some motivation to have behind it. But yeah, I keep saying it, but I just have to find a window, bro. Like I just finding a window for me to
Well,
to work out and do those things.
I
But
feel
I
like
ain't
we
never
talked.
liked to work out. We talked about this, and I know people that listen since the beginning. They probably rolling their eyes. We've talked about this at nauseum, like just keeping those commitments and doing
I
those
think
things. But I just don't like doing it. That's what the whole joke about the GLP-1. I don't like working out or doing none of that shit. I take a walk. I'll do a trail. Like I like all of that shit. That's
yeah,
interesting to
that's
me. I
working
can think.
out. Like that's walking is
Yeah.
some of the best form of cardio you can get, man. Really, if you walk your 10,000 steps a day and you eat right, bro,
Hmm.
that fat will come. It will melt off of you, like on some real shit. Like literally, if you take an hour out of your day to walk, and you are very mindful about what you put in your body, like that shit was just natural. It's the discipline I think that we lack when it comes to doing that, because we all have peaks and valleys, man. There's moments where I'm locked in and boom, everything changed, and then you get a spell where you might not have the time or can't make the time. So we talked about this as far as I've always looked at my workouts having to be a specific way. Like I have them mapped out, and now I'm even scaling back my workouts. Like I don't need to lift 6 days a week. I can scale that back, add more time for recovery, but maybe step up some walking and make sure. The main thing is making sure I'm eating right. Like eat
What your
right.
diet look like? What you talking about when you say eating right? Like, do
So
you
high
cook every
protein.
day?
Yes. So
You cook
my
every day.
yes. So
Damn.
um and I usually just fall off when I travel because I'm like I ain't got the ability to cook. But once I'm back traveling, I'm back right back in my routine. So usually what I would do is in the morning when I wake up, I'll have some blueberries and I'll have a Greek yogurt, right? Because it's high in protein. Blueberries good antioxidants for your brain. And I usually do that before the gym. So I'll lift, I'll have me like a little scoop of protein. I'll eat that or I'll drink that after I work out. Then I'm having 2 hard-boiled eggs and 3 egg whites, or 4 egg whites, should I say. I'll make like a little egg white omelet. And then I'll have another Greek yogurt. That's my breakfast. And then for lunch, I'll do half a pound of turkey, ground
God
turkey.
damn. A
Yeah.
half a
Well, it's
pound?
8 ounces. Oh, no, is
Oh.
that
Yeah, half a pound. 8 ounces
eight ounces?
of half pound. Yeah.
Yeah.
16 ounces a
Half a
pound.
pound of, yeah. So 8 ounces of ground turkey and some sweet potatoes and some spinach. And then I'll usually have a protein shake. So I'll make my own shake where I'll have strawberries, half a cup of strawberry, half a cup of blueberries, and a scoop of protein, and I'll drink that. So I usually drink my protein shake while I'm burning one after work. And then for dinner, I'm usually having like salmon. So either 8 ounces of salmon or maybe a different type of fish, along with spinach, and usually like some like wild rice or maybe some avocado. And that's my day. Like
See, I
that's
don't
my
even
day.
eat that much, bro. Like that.
Well,
That's like I don't even know. I don't even know how it was squeezed. I don't even. I eat once a day. maybe twice.
Yeah, and there's
But
listen,
it's
there's different
terrible. It's
methods.
terrible though. Like that, what you saying, I understand. Like I get it. I just finding time to. I know finding time sounds like a cop out, and it is. I'm being using a cop out for it, but it's more convenient for me to just eat one time, but it be trash though. Like it'd be
Like what you
trash
eat is
because
trash.
you hungry, yeah. Because you hungry at that point. Eating like what you doing, you don't never really get hungry, so you ain't craving like nothing greasy, no wings and no shit like that. Like you got your routine and you do it,
Well,
which is
I keep a
commendable.
meal or two there. Like so, I keep maybe on Tuesday I know for dinner I'm doing tacos. Like maybe I get my flavor from my Taco Tuesday, or maybe on a Saturday when I'm not working out, I'll save my dinner to be something that I want it to be. Like I can just kind of dummy out. But the more you get the more you do it and you see the results, the less you want to kind of have that moment where, I want some Popeyes today or something greasy and that's going to fuck up your rhythm because you already in that mode and your body starts I ain't going to say rejects it, but you start feeling the difference when you eat clean versus when I ate some
Yeah,
bullshit.
you
You know what I
definitely can
mean?
feel the
So,
difference. I understand. Yeah,
but I also understand I've been in the space where you are, where it's just hard to kind of squeeze that in, and you just got to be intentional about it and change up something because you can intermittent fast, all types of different things, but you just got to be more selective with your options. So if you go to Chick-fil-A, maybe you get a salad instead of a sandwich, or all these other things. Maybe I get fruit with my side instead of wedges or tater tots or whatever, the cash browns, whatever they want to call it, or the fries. There's all
oh,
types
the
of stuff you
fries.
can kind of it's all kind of stuff you can kind of squeeze in. Or maybe like if I do eat, it might be Chipotle or Brassica. So if I can't cook, I'm getting Chipotle.
Well, what?
I'm getting Brassica. Brassica. I don't know if Brassica's even down there. So it's like a Mediterranean spot. It's fire,
The
bro. Like
bowl?
so, it's all clean. Yeah, so it's all clean food, all of that stuff, man. So I try to be mindful of what I'm putting in my body, just because I do have goals that I want to hit, and I want to, get to that target goal. Because that's one thing I was asking my doctor about today. I weigh 241 pounds right now, which is by far the heaviest I've ever been in my life. But I'm not built like we were talking about it. Like if you look at because everybody in this country is obese, like for the most part. You know what I mean? It don't take much. Like I guess my walking around weight for my height and age should probably be around 178 pounds, and that's
Oh,
never gonna
180.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. So my doctor was telling me, she's like, people don't take into account. She's like, I don't like using BMI because BMI, body mass index, that's kind of like the same for everyone, but everybody doesn't have the same build. So she said, I'm looking at you. You got more of a stocky, muscular build. Like you would probably be best walking around at 210 to 220, somewhere between that range. And I said, that's funny because my target goal is 210, 215. She said, yeah, if you control your body fat and get your body fat down. So if you walk around like 15 to 20% body fat and you at 210, you in good shape. Like you're good. Versus if you just out here doing whatever. So all of that
Yeah.
stuff is just me trying to like hit that goal and mainly, like I said, make sure I'm healthy. Like I think there is something about getting older and looking around at my peers and looking at the people that let themselves go. And I'm like, nah, I want to be the nigga that stands out because, like, damn, you 40 and you look good. Like, you look like you take care of yourself. And I think that matters in certain rooms that I'm trying to, walk around in and stuff like that. People take you more seriously, in my opinion,
That's
when
the
you
thing.
look like, because it shows you got some kind of discipline. It shows you
That's the
got some
thing.
kind of like regimen. It shows that you're serious about something. So when they see it on you first versus somebody who look crazy or look like nuts, like you don't take care of your body. So why would I ask you to take care of my product or take care of my business? You don't even take care of yourself. So I don't, and I'm not saying these are real things that people say, but for me mentally,
It's a
I just want
thought
to be ahead of
process
that
that
curve.
they
Yeah, I'm
have.
sure it is. Like
It's a
we all
thought
seen
process.
somebody that's
Yeah.
big, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, like people don't really trust fat people like that, for lack of a better. Like you don't like, even if it's self-consciously, you just don't really trust them because you're like, bro, how you that big, bro? How you let yourself go like that? It was a thing with NFL coaches when they were talking about how, like, other than Andy Reid, you don't really see fat NFL coaches. Like people don't trust like big people to run, like to be the head of their organization or be the face of anything, because it's just
yeah.
like there's this subconscious thing. They may not come out and say it. Like, think how many
Mm-hmm.
supervisors or bosses you had in corporate America that were fat. It's very rare.
It's not a
Like I'm
ton.
talking about a top like that. That's a CEO and a C-suite. Like it's very rare that like because they like just if you don't care about yourself, people look like you won't care about what we got going on.
Right.
And that's the like you asked the question about being embarrassed. That's what I worry about more because I do know that. Like most people don't know that, they don't follow that, but I know that just from listening to podcasts and just reading random stuff. Like this, it's very rare that an overweight, obese person will be in charge of anything because people just
It
don't
is.
trust it.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, man. But it was a good experience going to the doctor today. I got a dentist appointment tomorrow. I'll go to the dentist, but I got one tomorrow. But just trying to schedule everything, make sure I'm on maintenance. I'm looking forward to the phone call tomorrow about my results, and then what I need to change. What supplements do I need to take? Do I still need to take these vitamins? Should I move to something else? Just learning about yourself and about your body, man, it's just a fascinating thing. So it's good to be on that track, and then once you're on there, it's easier to just kind of stay with it. All right, doc, when do I need to come back again? All right, I'm gonna schedule that. And then now that fear of, oh, I haven't been to the doctor in forever, that's what's stopping me. Now that's gone. Like even right now, that's gone. I've already crossed that hurdle of no longer being able to say, well, I ain't been in so long, I don't want to have those conversations. Like it's done now. Now I can say the last time I've been to the doctor was today. Like so. You know what I mean? Everything moves forward from that point. You just wipe out the past and you keep it moving. So I say that just to say, man, as far as like wellness and just taking care of ourselves, challenge all black men out there, man, just to go out there and get checked, especially if you get into your 40s. That's when you start getting into prostate exams, and everything else that you need to look at to take care of yourself and make sure we last as long as we can on this planet, man. Health is wealth for sure. So hopefully I can be a good example of that and everybody else do what works best for you, man. And that's another thing too, real quick. Just some people are just naturally bigger. They just genetic makeup is just gonna be bigger. Like I always looked at it as long as you're healthy. And not everybody gonna have a six pack and just walk around looking like, a boxer or whatever the case may be. Like some people can be healthy, but you might be a little bit bigger, but you can tell that you're mindful of stuff like that. So health, I think, is more important than how you look or your physique. I think if you walk around healthy, but you're a little bit bigger, it is what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, man. Hopefully everybody taking care of themselves and scheduling what they need to. But therapy, man, therapy, Spike Lou, this shit's
Was
fascinating.
your real quick before you get was your is your doctor black? It's a black woman.
Nah, so because I went through my company, like we have on our campus, on our main campus, we have a health services department.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just randomly scheduled one. 'Cause that's the first thing I look for, like any black people. There weren't. We got a massage therapist that's black, a black woman, but
Oh, I just know it was.
nah, see. But we got everybody else, So I didn't. So I'm gonna look outside, not outside of our network, but I'm just gonna see if there's any like primary care physicians that are black that I can, take our
Yeah.
insurance that I can kind of switch over to. But oh, girl, she was cool. She was cool, man. Gave me all the information I need. So we'll see how it goes. But that's definitely a priority for me. And same way with the therapist, man. I wanted to make sure I had a black therapist just because there's certain things that we talk about or that we can relate to and understand each other without having to explain it.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, man. I don't know. I want to pass it off to you, man. I want to see if you have it. We talked a little bit about my therapy, but I want to know if you have any questions specifically about, you know, my therapy journey, why I got into it, or anything like that. Before I just start rambling about what these first few sessions have been like.
Um, yeah, I'll have some questions as we go, not right off the top of the head. What I will say and toss it to you to talk about because you had this exercise with your therapist we talked about that app that I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
It was too hard for me.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I just I couldn't. I didn't. I don't know how to.
You you want to tell the
I
people
tried it.
exactly what we're talking
Yeah.
about for
So there's
context?
an. So you were given an assignment by your therapist to write down how you felt about stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like the different feelings that
Yes.
you have throughout the day about different things.
Yeah.
And I was reading something I think on Threads or whatever it may be, and it suggested this app is crazy how these phones be listening to you. I swear to God they do. But me and you had that conversation, and the thread popped up, and it suggested this app talking about like I don't even what you know the name of the app.
Um, Off the top of my head, no.
It's
Oh
how we
yeah, actually, it's
feel.
right here. It's
Yeah,
yeah, I
how we
got it right here.
feel.
1 second. Yeah,
It's
how we
called How
feel.
We Feel. Yeah, it's a How We Feel app. And you download that app, and the app will prompt you about 3 times a day, just like how you feeling, like how your day going. Like it'll prompt you that, which seems very simple, but there are a lot of options to answer the question. When they ask you how you feeling, it ain't just like, it ain't a happy,
Mhm.
sad, mad, glad type of thing. It gives you this whole little bubble thing, and for you to pick
Yes,
one on how you feeling. And even as you were
feelings
explaining
will.
to me, yeah, I ain't see that, but you were explaining it to me. And even when you were saying that your therapist assigned that to you as homework, and I'm like, I don't even know how I could do that. Like my mind don't even work that way. Like I don't even know how to
How we
like we talking about feelings. Like what is it? Me and you on the same page
You
actually in
sound you
saying that.
sound like me talking to my therapist. That's
Yeah.
exactly
Like
this. That's
I
literally
don't
what you just said is what I said. I felt
I don't even
dumb.
understand that. Yeah, I don't even understand
Uh,
it. Like it's like we
yeah.
always talk about that rock moment in Smash Machine. It was like, bro, like
Mhm.
feel what? What are you talking about? Because I don't process thoughts that way. How I feel
So
about it. It's like more so for me, it's okay, well, what does this mean? And I know you'll
so
get into it, but I want to
yeah.
get into real quick why I downloaded the app, because the app is supposed to prompt you and help you with it. So I saw it, I
Mhm.
sent it to you. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I downloaded, made it alert me 3 times a day, morning, after I get off, right before I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Just to feel how I would like what would I even have the inputs be if it asked me and prompt me how you feeling and gave me these different choices. I made it one day. I made it one day before I was like, man, bro, I'm not. I don't because I I felt like I was being truthful, but it didn't feel like it was a accurate representation either, really, of how I was feeling. So therefore, my logical brain kicks in. It's like, okay, this is useless to me because I ain't really answering this as accurately as I would like to, and they don't have an option that's accurate enough for me. So them asking how you feeling and me not really seeing the option there of how you feeling, then it's like, okay, it's cool, bro. I'm done. But I made it one day before I just was like, fuck it.
That's fair. So
Have you
just to
still been
provide
doing it?
a yeah, I haven't done the app. I've just been doing my own exercise. So I
Oh,
told
you
my
didn't download
therapist,
that.
well, I did download the app, but I haven't been using the app in that sense. My therapist gave me a feelings wheel. And when you talk
Mm.
about like, I felt like I was in kindergarten because so I want to give some context on how we even got here. So my second session with my therapist. So your first one is kind of an introductory. It's kind of like, hey, why are you here? What are you looking to accomplish? All of those things. So it's kind of getting a lot of groundwork done in that first session. But the second one was, after my first session, my homework was to list my top 10 values and then narrow them down to my top three. So that's what we kind of focus on. And at one point during the conversation, my therapist stops and she's like, one thing I'm noticing about you is that things are very black and white. So I asked her to go a little bit further into that. She said, yeah, there's not a lot of gray area. And she said that, I forgot, there's a term for it. There's a term for when humans have equal emotion and equal logic in their brains. That's the way they view the world. And I am, surprise, surprise, similar to Spike Lee. I'm very much on the logic side of things. So as we're talking, she pointed out to me. She said, "You use a lot of I think and I believe." So when you describe things that are going on, you're saying it under the sense of I believe this or I think this. He said, "What about your feelings?" And I literally stopped as we're having a conversation. I looked at her, Lou, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, feelings, like, are you angry? Are you happy? Are you sad? Like feelings, those things. And I said, yeah, I don't really stop
Like
and
that
think
don't
about
even
how
make
I
sense to
feel.
me.
Well, and that was the thing. And so I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, what it did is made me realize how much I don't take into account my own feelings. I don't think about my feelings because with the logical side of the brain, my feelings don't matter at the end of the day because the result is the result. Like regardless, like I've always operated in the sense of regardless of how I feel doesn't change that 1 + 1 is 2. You get what I'm saying? Like so my feelings have nothing to do with that. Like so whatever problem we're talking about, whatever we're trying to accomplish, how I feel about it is irrelevant to the end result. You know what I mean? In all phases of life. And, I've talked about this before, and Mo likes to bring this up where I've mentioned specifically there's a woman that told me once, like, you have the ability where I could talk to you. I feel like really comfortable. I feel like I've known you forever. Then when I leave the conversation, I realize I don't know anything about you. My therapist pointed out like that's because you don't like your emotional side, your feeling side of things doesn't pop out. Like you're very, you're observant and you're empathetic and you're very curious. So it's easy for people to have a regular conversation with you because you're going to ask them questions. You're going to conform the conversation of what you want it to be because of that naturally curious mind. But if you notice, he said, I would guess that you're probably doing a lot of the asking and not a lot of the answering. Like, you know what I mean? You don't really tap into those emotions. So that's why people want more of it. And I'm like, damn, that's a good point. Because as I'm sitting here trying to think of my feelings, so day one of trying to work on that homework, I was stuck. I didn't know. I'm like, I don't understand what these feelings are, how to really identify them. And most of the feelings that I did notice, they were like on the side of annoyed or irritated. Like they were things that people were doing. It wasn't too much, my general baseline for feeling is cool. How you feeling? I'm cool. Like I'm good. I'm cool. Like that's it. Like cool means that everything cool. I ain't too high, I ain't too low. I'm right in the middle. Like it is what it is. We pushing along our day. But she really challenged me to step in because what she told me was your feelings are the truth. Like so, you'll feel whatever you feel. That's what your truth is, and you really need to start paying attention to what your body needs. So I talked to her about like anxiety, and she was like, you need to pay attention to what your body needs in those moments, so you can really know how to like fulfill, what's going on. So she mentioned she said a comment because she real cool. She's very open as well, but she said something along the lines of, she has some adult children. She said, she said, I tell my kids, like, if you're feeling horny, you don't go ride a horse. And her point was like, that's something that your body, it's a very direct cause and effect. Like if you feel that way and you have a partner or a girlfriend that you live with or whatever the case is, your natural inclination is you're gonna go to your girl, y'all gonna get it in. Your body's telling you, I need this, and now you go get it. Like you need to, she said, you need to do that with all your feelings. Like you need to be able to identify what it is that your body's telling you and know how to do it. So she used the example of, hey, people get angry, right? So when people get angry, you get cortisol, and that cortisol needs to be released. So your body is telling you. So like usually when your blood starts boiling and you get real angry and you kind of get aggressive, that's your body having to release that in a certain way. So you need to figure out what it is. What is it that I need to give my body right now to kind of lower this? A lot of people might resort to violence, which isn't the right way. You want to punch something or go punch someone, like which isn't the way. Maybe you could burn out some steam. Maybe you can go lift some weights. Maybe you can go take a run, take a walk, do whatever you need to do. Or some people eat. Some people like go eat, go to or conform to eating or doing something to fulfill their body or take that away. Almost like they say comfort or comfort meals, whatever the case is. Um, but she said, yeah, you just need to start thinking about what it is that you need in these moments. So I've really been trying to tap in with that. And she actually, we actually sat there and she had the screen up like with the wheel. And she was asking me about different moments. And all right, then I look at the wheel. Tell me how you felt. And I was able to help. It helped me identify these moments, but it's not natural. I will tell you that. Like to sit there and just think about, all right, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. It's not a natural thing, and I really have to put effort into it because it was very difficult for me to. I felt dumb. Like I felt like, man, am I this out of touch with myself and my feelings because I don't use them, I don't tap into them. So I'm
I just
curious to know
don't.
what that's going to be like for me.
I am too. I'm definitely gonna be living vicariously through you on how this plays out because I feel dumb and listening to you say that, and because I still don't understand. Like, because I tell you what my brain stop at it at. So, like, let's say I identify my feelings. I feel mad. Okay, like that. Like, to me, that's where it stops. Like, yeah, I feel mad, but like, nigga, calm down. Like that's where my brain goes to from there. Not necessarily wondering what my body needs to calm down, but knowing that I need to calm down so nothing beyond what I'm feeling mad about happens. So it don't turn into another situation, or I'm feeling happy or satisfied or whatever it may be. Like the acknowledgement of the feeling for me, that does it. Like I don't understand the next step. So I would love to talk to her, well, talk to a therapist about that. But like for me, once I identify the emotion, it's like it's for me to deal with. And I don't understand anything else beyond that. Like I heard what you said and it made sense. And the therapist telling you that, But I'm thinking about my everyday life and how if I had to identify, okay, in this moment, something this person at work said to me or something that happened on a podcast or whatever it is, it made me mad. Okay, I can acknowledge that I'm mad. That's fine. I ain't one of those people that would necessarily run from my feelings if it made me feel this way. But my mind goes to, okay, how do you get out of this feeling? Like it don't go
Mm-hmm.
to, well, let's identify it and let's break down why you felt mad. Don't to me that don't matter. And I know that probably sounds dumb if somebody that's a therapist listening, like you was just saying it. I felt dumb. Like I feel dumb saying that it don't matter how I feel. What matters in my brain is how I fix it, how I react to it, how I make sure they don't get me out of character, how I make sure that they don't linger on, even though sometimes it may do that. But just in the moment, acknowledging that I feel this certain type of way, it don't. Okay, yeah,
I'll tell you
you're
why it's
mad.
important, because I get what you're coming from, because I'm the same way. But I'll tell you what I've been learning in these couple of sessions and why it's important, because it narrows down where that comes from. So what I'm
Why
understanding
you
is
mad about that?
what I'm seeing is it's not necessarily about fixing, it's about understanding. You know what I mean? I think once you have a better idea why you are the way you are, um, it's easier for you to navigate with people in the life. It's not necessarily about changing who you are or fixing anything. It's about, oh, okay, I do this because of this. You know what I mean? And like one of the things she brought up was what's the guy's name? I don't know if I have it written down anywhere. His name is Yuri Brofbrenner. Yuri Brofbrenner. He's a psychiatrist or was a psychiatrist. He passed away in like early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, he came up with this theory of like just how your environments. So a lot of time, like when people were studying like child behavior, they were studying under the sense of like it's all biological, right? So like who you are is based on your genetics and all that. And then he's the one that kind of broke it down into no, like there's so many other factors that play into who you are today. So the environment, the house you were raised in, but not just the house, the community, the school you went to, the people around you, all these things, all these different environments that you step into, they play a role into who you are today. You know what I mean? So learning that and understanding that, it kind of helps you break certain things down. So it's always fun for me when I'm talking about something that my therapist will connect it to something that I mentioned earlier, connected to something from my childhood and say, okay, then so that's probably why. So once I identify it and I recognize it, it's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense now when you identified and you pointed that out to me. So now I know if I'm annoyed by this, or this, how to kind of develop or put myself out of it or be aware and know that, hey, I'm about to get annoyed. Let me just kind of, it's made me more selfish in the best ways
Hmm.
to kind of make sure that I'm not, like she said, your feelings are telling the truth. So when you're feeling a way, especially ways that make you feel uncomfortable, that's your body telling you like that's a red flag. That's something that you need to get out of. Whether it's people, whether it's a situation, there's stuff we call intuition. Like all it is feelings telling us like, hey, your nervous system is alarming you of something. Hey, something ain't right here. Like, you know what I mean? Be cautious or exit completely. So a lot of times
Hmm.
when,
That's interesting.
let's say it's a woman or something that you double back on. Now y'all broke up, you know you ain't got a business messing with this woman, but here you are again. But you get a little uneasy, and sometimes it's always like, I knew I shouldn't have been fucking with her. Like I don't know why I came back. Sometimes your body gives you signals of like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. You shouldn't be here, and then it comes up being true, or little small stuff like that. So me
So
knowing, go ahead.
no, finish. You can finish.
No, I was gonna say me learning more about myself can help me put my like so knowing. All right, let's say for example, one of the things we talked about was like my cell phone usage, right, or lack thereof. And I talked to her about that, and I'm like, yo, what does that say about me? That I don't, there's a lot of a lot of messages unread. I'm not readily checking my texts. I said it's funny because I've moved to a point of life where I probably hop on the phone quicker than I would text. Like 10 years ago, I can be in the group chat all day. Now I have zero desire because I'm usually busy or I'm moving around or I'm doing something. I don't know if people really recognize when I tell them that because we live in a society where everybody, you have your cell phone on you and everybody like, oh, I know you got your phone on you. Why can't you text back? And I'm like, yo, my brain to like stop and have a conversation via text and like wait for you to respond and then respond back. It doesn't, I don't have that same time. Not saying that I can't do it. What I'm saying is it's not something of importance to me. So my therapist pointed out, she was like, "Yo, it's like so based off everything that I've learned about you, like the things that you enjoy in life aren't found in the phone. So it's not surprising to me that you're not on your phone and you're not always readily texting back people." She was like, because the stuff that you always talk about, you're traveling and this, that, and the third, like you were looking for real human interactions. Because we talk about how much I hate small talk. So she was talking about like you look for real human interactions. You're looking to learn. You're looking to grow. You're looking to experience life. You're looking to be present. All these things you're trying to work on. None of that is found in your cell phone. You can't get any of those things that you just mentioned in your phone. So it's okay that you're not doing that. You just have to make sure you open and communicate that with people. So if somebody is new, or even if it's somebody old, you got to let them know, hey, I'm not the best at texting back, or I might not text back readily. If you really need something, call me and leave it at that. Because a lot of people now, since you have a cell phone, Spike Lou, like people expect since you have a cell phone that you are going to answer them as soon as they reach out to you. And that's not true. That's why I always joke about wishing I had a house phone and a pager. Because there used to be a time you can call my house for 3 days in a row. I might call you on day 4, but there was no expectation. Yo, I called you on Tuesday. Why ain't I heard from you? Nigga, leave a message. You never know what people got going on. They'll call you back later that week, and it was normal. Now it's like you can't go 30 minutes without responding to somebody. And somebody on your head, like, yo, I know you on your phone, or I saw you post on IG, or I see a green on. Like, it don't matter what I'm doing. I don't want to talk to you right now. And that's fine. It ain't got to be nothing personal. Like, it is what it is. There's something about that readily availability. So we talked about that, and she broke that down. So now, knowing that, it took some of the weight off my shoulder about feeling bad about those things. Like, I try to communicate with people and let them know, and I circle back usually at some point, just like, yo, I'll catch up in these conversations. Because what I realize is a lot of that stuff's not pressing. Like, if somebody texts me and say, "Oh, I need to talk to you," like I'm gonna hit them up. Like, I got you. But if it's just some like casual conversation, then I'm gonna look at that as, okay, I'll get to that when I get to it. And that's kind of what it gets down to. Like, so for me though, I felt so bad about being that person that wouldn't answer back. Like, it was really starting to bother me. And now that kind of gave me some reassurance, like, yo, you ain't got to change who you are, man. And like, you just got to be more open about it and communicate with people that this is what it is. Or maybe you can start setting time like we got. Like, we got time now, a day of the week, where I know I'm calling you. We're going to be on the phone and we chopping it up. You know what I mean? Some people might need more time. Some people might need less, whatever the case is. But I'm trying to be intentional with the people I do care about to make sure I get that time in. And it is easier said than done because there's only so many hours in the day. I got a lot of recordings. But I try to make sure, all right, I'm squeezed. So like last week, for example, I called Mo on Tuesday. I call you on Mondays. I called Mo on Tuesday last week just to chop it up because I'm like, that's somebody I care about, whose conversations and friendship I value. So I want to make sure I get some time with that. And just going down the list of all the rest of my friends and brothers of just say, all right, and let me make sure I tap in. Because it's hard, especially when I move around a lot. Like, I went to 3 different cities in 72 hours last week. You know what I mean? Like, I was just moving around, and it's just like, yo, I'm with my sister. I ain't trying to be on my phone texting people and doing all this, man. I'm being here in the moment. Me and my sister had a great bonding experience. Like, me even being in therapy, like, we had some real conversations, and we got to open up and talk about our household growing up, and it was just real cool. I had a good time. I wouldn't want to miss out on stuff like that because, I got this person texting me, that person texting me, like, so yeah, it's fascinating when you break it down in that sense and understand yourself better.
That makes sense. That makes sense as far as opening up the box. I could, as similar as our personalities are, I do see the difference there. Like when you talk about stuff like that, because I'm OCD about, like I told you before. It was like if somebody called me and I can't answer, I got to text them and let them know why. I don't know what that is. If I want to talk, if it's somebody important, I say that. If it's somebody that I fuck like you, most of the time, even like when Dro hit me up or any of my friends hit me up and I can't answer, I'm recording right now, I'm doing this. Like, I always shoot them a text and tell them, no, I can't answer.
Remember I told you it was crazy.
Yeah, you did. You said I was crazy with that.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't.
I appreciate it now.
Yeah, but it's like what you say though. Like, I just can't. I'm one of those. I'm one of those people like what you said. Well, I know your phone is somewhere near you, so like you just seen me call, and you just did not like you. There's no response at all. Like, even when I was talking about, hey, my mom up, like, nigga, like I had to text her like, hey, what you got going on?
Yeah,
and she didn't even respond to that, but it was because she left her phone somewhere. So I just feel like, especially since I'm in the city, Dolo and my friends and family are not here. I want to let them know like I'm doing something right now. It ain't just that I didn't see your call or I'm looking at it and don't want to answer. I just want to let you know that I'm doing something right now. So that's one thing. But the other thing, going back further in the conversation to what you were saying, and I hope I'm remembering this right because I had a point and I kind of forgot it, but I think I remember it now. In the feelings thing, when you were saying, she said like acknowledge how you feel and what to do about it. I don't. I said that's still like it's still failing to process for me because the t- my personality type, my mindset is always well, like if someone or something made me feel this type of way, it's on me to make the adjustment. I'm not
Give me
approaching
give me
you.
give me an example of
So
that. What
like
do you mean by that?
even earlier this week, I had a conversation with somebody and they said, "You seem like this person don't know me. I just met them. Like we have done work together." And they said, "You seem like the sufferer in silence type." And I'm like, "What?" She said, "I hope you don't take offense to this. You seem like a suffering silence type." And I said, "Well, tell me more about what you say, what you mean when you're saying that." She was like, "Well, you're not gonna ask for help. Like it's gonna be like you feel like you should know or figure it out, or if you got a question, somebody gonna look at you a certain type of way. So you before you'll go down with the ship before you be like, hey, it's water over here. Like somebody come over here and help me."
Yeah.
And she right.
Yeah.
So that goes to the feeling part of it. Like I don't. You
So
can
what
make
is
me
that?
sad, mad,
Right.
happy, or whatever. Because I don't feel like that you can do
Let's
anything about it.
let's
Go
pause
ahead.
right there. Let's just pause.
Yeah,
Let's back up some. She tells you you look like this, you feel like the suffering silence type. How does
you
that make
seen
you
that?
feel?
Yeah,
Seem like it. How does that make you feel?
seen.
Okay.
Because this is a person that I don't know. That yeah, you're right. Because I
Now
am that
we about
type.
to we about to do this in real time, Spike Lou. Hold on, real
Okay.
quick. I'm still listening to you, but I'll tell you what I
Yeah,
mean when I say we about to do this in real time.
yeah. So like when she said that, it was like okay, yeah, you're paying attention, obviously, because yeah, that is me. Like I'm not going to. Me and Joe had a conversation about this the other day. Like I'm not going to nobody and being like, man, I need help, or like, can you assist me with this? Like I just not that I think that I'm too good for it or anything of that nature, but it's just a default setting in my head to figure it the fuck out. And we've talked about this on this podcast before. It's like, well, I'm not depending on anyone to be like, well, yeah, you made me angry. And since you made me angry, we need to have this. Man, I get the fuck out of here. I don't got to have a conversation with you because you made me angry. It's on me to fix it. Like
Can you
my default setting for is always, well, how can I do better or do differently so I don't feel that way? I don't have to involve the other person in the conversation, let them know how I'm feeling because I don't really care to talk to
okay?
you about how you made me feel. It's on me.
Pause. It ain't about
Yeah.
that. It ain't about talking to them.
I've
It's
seen
all
this
about
before.
you.
We had this before. I had
Okay.
a job where
I
we had
felt
to
like
do this.
I felt like I was in kindergarten when she sent me this because I'm like, I
Y'all had
can't
a job
believe
where we did this.
I was literally sitting there like, I can't believe I need a feelings wheel because I'm that out of touch with my feelings. But so she tells you, what she said. All right. What's your initial thought? So let's start with the inside, right? Like bad, fearful, angry, disgusted, sad, happy, surprised. Was there any of those feelings that crossed your mind at that moment?
Surprised. Did
Surprised.
she did she figure that out? Because again,
Okay.
I don't know this person well.
So you were
This is like,
surprised that she figured it
yeah.
out. So were you confused, amazed, startled, shocked, dismayed, perplexed? Like,
Mm,
what do you think your next feeling would be from there?
I would say it's on the fence between startled and excited. Startled is not a good one, so yeah, excited because
Where's the
she
excitement come from?
understanding that this is the type of person that I am. I'm glad this is my sick brain. I'm glad that you understand that about me. Like I'm not gonna be that person. So I'm excited that you see me and understand. Like, nah, I'm not gonna be the nigga that's gonna come ask you for help, and we ain't like it's not gonna be a thing for me. So I'm
So with
excited that you understand that about me.
so with that being said, so the one thing that I'm picking up, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you started talking about, all right, what's that say about me and fixing things internally, but that doesn't, I don't know if that's anything you need to change at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with being the person that doesn't want to ask for help. I think if anything, if you cared enough, you could try to figure out where that comes from. And I'm sure you might have a good understanding of it. Like you being an only child, having to get it out the mud, like get it on your own. I don't want to say get it out the mud like you was like fending for yourself. But what I mean is like you jumped
I
off the
know you
porch
got.
early. You know what I mean? You jumped off the porch early. So a lot of that is probably like you know, have a defense mechanism or I just have a mindset of fight or flight to where I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter how I feel. This shit got to get done either way. It don't matter if there's a hole in the boat. We got to figure out a way to cover the boat or we all going down. Like it doesn't feelings don't matter. The solution matters. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And I don't know if that's like a bad thing as long as you can recognize it. So even her recognizing, I think, does justice to you because you don't have to get there and complain it. I think it becomes an issue when you're the outlier in a team function, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm the person standing out. What do I do to make sure this team runs smoothly? Versus, I don't think having that mindset changes anything. If anything, it could be an addition to the team.
Mm.
So it's more so stuff I think, and this is just me talking. I think it's a lot of the stuff when it comes to feelings. There are things that you recognize and you want to change or understand. You might not even want to change it. You just might want to understand it better so you know how to operate. But if somebody told me you look like that type or you seem like that type, then cool. Like, all right, bet. That really doesn't have any kind of impact on my day because you're probably right.
But I think the dilemma in it comes when you actually do need help.
Well,
Now,
well, all right. So that,
so for
if you
someone like me, when I actually do need help, that's when the problem lies because I don't know how to form it. I don't trust asking for it. Like, I don't know how to form the question to ask for help. I don't trust asking for help. And I'm kind of skeptical in the help that's going to be given to me. Not because I think I'm the smartest motherfucker in the room or anything like that, but it'll go back to the Dave episode you and I had. Where like I've never had that context. But like, yeah, my mom did tremendous by me in raising me. But when you're talking about having to figure stuff out on a day-to-day basis, like just things, it wasn't like you can go ask this person to go ask that person. Like you just have to figure it out.
yeah, but
So to your go ahead.
you have people in your life. I know this for a fact. You have people in your life that you trust.
That I'm not going to ask them for help either.
But why not?
Because mm,
Like me and you were trying to build something like that's you know how much like of a to not
that's a
just me.
red
Let's take me
flag.
out of it. No. It's not a red flag. I think it's an insult.
Mm-hmm.
It's an insult to our brotherhood. It's an insult to our friendship. That
Okay,
you have
so
people that would
that's a
be
good
willing
point
to. You got
because
a ton of people, not just like I said, take me out of it. You got a ton of people that would at like they a phone call away, literally. Like you know
that's
what I
a good
mean?
point because she went on to say, the person that was saying this to me, she said it may be a generational thing or whatever it may be, but it seems like when you put yourself in a position to ask for help, that that you're hesitant to tell people that you don't know things. Not that you're trying to be this smart or whatever it may be, but you take you take it on yourself to be like, well, I need to know this and figure it out. I can't go ask nobody for help for it. When the easier thing would be, go ask somebody that know, or go ask somebody that's doing this with you, and versus you having to go all the way around the motherfucking world and finally figure it out. You could have just asked me, and I would have got you there quicker. But you seem like the person that, yeah, you'll figure it out. You're smart enough to figure it out. But instead of it taking you 72 hours, it took you a week because you just that into, oh, I have to figure this out. And she said, I don't know if it's a pride thing or what, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
So
Going back to what I say that because you got people that are team Spike Lee and are down to help you and do whatever they can to help you, and they don't know unless you say something. Sometimes, not everybody's going to be as forthcoming to say, "All right, Spike Lee, what you need." You know what I mean? Sometimes, but there's a ton of people that's going to be there if you need them and if you ask them. And another way I look at it is, and we had this conversation because I was talking to you about the deck, like building a deck, right? And I told you, man, I looked up and I'm talking to Matt about this, and I'm just like, yo, these people are in my life for a reason. They're from moments like these. Like I have the same thing where there's certain people that are they reach a certain level of success, or I know they're busy, and I'm hesitant to ask them. And then when I reach out, they like more than welcome. Like, yes, like what you need, I got you. Let's set up a call. Let's do this. They're happy to help because they know the type of person I am and what I'm trying to accomplish. Like, you know what I mean? They see the journey, they see the vision. Like, what can I do to help you get to your thing? Because you deserve that. You got the talent and you're doing it the right way. You're doing it for the right reasons. Like, I would be more than happy to help you and support you. And we need more people like you in these positions, leading the way and being the examples versus some of the other people that are. So it's almost like, yo, a lot of people that are in your life, they're not by accident. They're there, and a lot of people have good resources. And you look around, it's like, oh shit! Like I looked around and I went through my contact list, and I started just thinking, oh, this person I could reach to for this. And it's not like a transactional relationship, but you really look at genuine friendships and that you've built over the years, and then you start thinking about what they're good at and what they're talented at. And it's like, oh shit! If I need help with marketing, I can reach out to this person. If I need help with just brainstorming an idea, I can reach out to this person. And it's not about knowing, but nobody's done anything on this planet by themselves.
But
like,
do you feel comfortable doing that though?
Absolutely.
Like even like so, I think
do.
that's where it's a gray. Okay, when you say now I do, where did that come from? Like, where did you get the confidence to be able to do that?
Because if it, once again, trusting your. I think I read something or I listened to something recently, and I thought it resonated pretty well. And I want to make sure I say it the right way. I don't want to reverse it. I have high self-esteem, low self-confidence.
Okay.
So in other words, the way I view myself and what I think about myself is tremendous. Like, I think I'm that nigga. The confidence part comes in and I have no idea how other people view me. So sometimes the way you feel, you don't know if everybody else views you the same way you view yourself. So you can walk in a room thinking you're the coolest person in that room, but does everybody else think that? Like, you know what I mean? Should it matter? Not really. But I think a big part of it was, do I have something to offer where people would even take me seriously if I asked for help on this? And then you
that's
realize,
what I was about to say.
Go ahead.
That's the sweet spot that we're speaking of in this conversation. Like, do people view you as someone that they would help? Like, how would they look at you? And this is me thinking of it. How do they look at you if you come to them and ask them this? Like the audacity. Like, I got a big thing with audacity. Like, just like the audacity of some people and just the things that they do, things that have been asked of me, just like how people like just. I don't want to be, and you have to be, and it's one of the things that I'm working on and trying to be better. Like, I don't really want to be an audacious person, but you have to be in order to be successful in what we're trying to build and do. Like, you gotta ask for it. Like, in sales, they say this thing, it's relationship building. Yes, you're absolutely right. But however, you still don't know, like what you were saying, how you are, you still don't know how they view you. So when you go for your ask, if they're not viewing you how you view yourself, it ain't necessarily gonna go the way that you think it's gonna go, right? Like, they're looking at it like, how dare this person ask me for this?
That's why I said relationship building, because you have to build that equity. You ain't even coming off the street saying that. I gotta push back on that, man. Because me and you have built a relationship to the point where I feel comfortable asking you for anything, Spike Lou. Like, there's some stuff I wouldn't ask for just because that's who I am. Like, I would never hit you up and say, Spike Lou, I need some money. Or I need, you know what I mean, X, Y, Z. That's just not the person I am.
That's kind of the thing. Me and Dro was talking about that too. Like, even if I'm struggling, I'm not hitting a nigga up and be like, hey man, can I hold, like, but niggas have the audacity to do that. That's crazy.
That's a different type of help, in my opinion. That's a different type of help. When I talk about help and me asking, and that's something interesting to break down. Because I don't, there is a get it out the mud mentality that I have where I just don't feel comfortable asking the next man for something.
I don't feel comfortable asking no nigga for no money. Like, no.
Yeah, I would never do that. Like, I wouldn't even want to ask people like in my family for money. But either way,
but there's some people that they have the audacity to do that.
Yeah, but you quickly know. So that's the difference, right? If you have somebody that is, you know, they on top of it and they ask you for ideas or your opinion on ideas, versus somebody asking you for like money or something, that relationship building is happening in the same time, but they're two different ends of the spectrum. So now one person that you like, oh shit, I respect this person, how they move and how they trying to get to it. I'm more open because I know you come with authenticity. I know you come with a good purpose and intent. I'm more open to help you out, especially if you have the resources. That's one of the things that's the most important. We're talking about people who know what they're doing. It's almost like if somebody I consider my brother said, hey, I want to start a podcast, and we have that relationship and I know how they operate and they move, they shouldn't have any hesitation to ask me for that. Because we have that bond, we have that relationship, and I know how to do it. I'm not figuring it out with you. That's my field. That's what I do. So yeah, like I'm the person you want to talk to about that. We all have people in our lives that's going to be that person to talk to about this. Like I said, if you break it down, you got somebody that you know is probably good at marketing. You got somebody that you know that's good at this, that, and the third. Fitness. All right, I want to get back in shape. I got somebody I can talk to right now to probably break it down in the most layman's terms that get you on what you need to hear. But it's more so about us using their expertise and just saying, hey, I know you're good at this. Can I pick your brain? People that know shit, guess what they want to do? They want to teach people. Like that's like a common thread usually in life. Like they would be more than happy, especially they partner. You ain't no stranger. That's the biggest thing. You treat it like you were strangers to these niggas.
But okay, I understand what you're saying, but I view it differently just from how I've heard throughout the years that state that you said a key thing there. Let me pick your brain. People who have did the work and they are established in their field, like even like what you're saying with podcasting and you, like, let me pick your brain, in my opinion, is some of the most offensive shit, whether it's coming from your homeboy or somebody that's random, because you're trying to pick the brain of somebody who's put in work, 10,000 hours of something. I do this. And you're saying, well, let me pick your brain. Like people pay for these conversations. And what you're doing is diminishing the value that I have in this field by asking me, hey, let me pick your brain. Like, no,
you're treating this like these are strangers off the street. If this was a stranger off the street, I agree with you. Like Lou. No, man, you were diminishing the friendship and the value of that, man. That's what you can't do anything in life without community, Lou. Like you really can't. True. You can't do anything with life without community, man. That's like Dave. That's like us reaching out to Dave about financial advice or the stocks. And he's like, I don't know, man. Like he's so open with it because we have a relationship. You get what I'm saying? It's all built on the relationship with that person. Not anybody can just reach out to Dave and say, yo, I want to pick your brain about this and that. I don't even want to say we earned it because I'm still early in it, but you for sure. Let's say you. And I know Dave, how he views us. So I can put myself in there. I know there's nothing I can't ask a Dave if I need to. If hey, Dave, man, I want to talk to you for a quick second, because here's another key factor in what you're saying. Here's what I don't believe in and I would never do to somebody. If I ever use the phrase, let me pick your brain, it's in the context of I have this idea that's already developed. I want to break it down for you. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's not I don't want you to give me all the secrets. I'm saying, hey, I'm working on this. This is where I am with it. This is what I have developed. What do you think about this, given that you know more about this than me and you've done this before? What am I doing well? What am I messing up? Do you have some time to take a look? Maybe they don't have some time, and that's cool. I'm not going to take offense to that, but not more times than not, especially my partner, my homie, they going to be like, I bet, yeah, give me a second. I'm going to take a look at this. Like, that's like Nate randomly reaching out, and Nate's an artist. Nate would randomly reach out, no questions asked. Here's a logo design. I thought it would be dope for y'all. That's my man's. That's my brother. Like, I see you trying to build something. Why would I not want to use what I'm good at to help you build what you do? The same way you do for me.
But see, that's different. And that I understand when you talk about community. That I understand when somebody sees me in my community over there doing something, they're good at something. Hold on.
I know you're going. No, I know you're going. Let me flip it.
No. You can't flip it before I say it. If somebody sees me doing something that's in my community, that's in my network, and they reach out and be like, hey, I see what you're doing. I thought this would be dope for what you're doing. I put some thought behind this and how I can help you. That's different from me going to you and being like, hey, I got this idea and you do this and you good at it. Help me get started. I look at those, like how my brain works. I look at those two different ways, because what I look at that as, like you're saying, you have the community, you have the people behind you, people that you trust and love, and they're invested in what you do. Like, so if somebody hit me up and they was like, man, I see what you're doing, like what you just said with the logo, here go this logo, how do you like it? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's different from me going to someone and being like, hey, well, let me pick your brain about this. Like, I just don't feel comfortable doing that, because I know how valuable that information is. I've been doing podcasts for 15 years. So when somebody come to me and be like, hey, let me pick your brain, friend, family or not, it's still in my opinion, and I may not be, it still diminishes what you do in a sense, because they, like, people will pay for the information that I have. I ain't charging my homeboys for it at all. I just want them to be serious. If they come to me and be like, I want to do this, that's fine. I'll walk through the whole thing with you.
I guess what like I said, it comes out of relationship. So what I said, let's flip it. If I ask Nate, hey, I need a design for my podcast,
are you paying him for it?
It don't matter. He wouldn't charge me, but I wouldn't mind to pay him. It wouldn't be no issue.
But see,
I'm asking you to use something that you're good at.
See, even that don't register correctly to me. Still,
why not? I don't understand that. That's mind-boggling to me. Like why, so what are you like? Why are you doing this like this?
I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm right in this. I'm just saying how I view stuff and what I'm trying to wrap my head around and be better at. Which is why we have this conversation. I look at it like if you talking to Nate and you like, well, I want a logo for my such and such, such and such. Yeah. How I'm even approaching the conversation is from a monetary value, because I know you've been doing this and you're good at it. I'm not going to ask you for anything like even if we homeboys or not. I respect the work that you put in. So if I know that he do graphics, I know that he do this, that, and the third, I ain't coming to him and being like, I do this. Can you do a logo for me? I'm coming to him and being like, how much would you charge me for this, that, or the third?
But not everything is like that to people. Like Nate's like that's when it goes to relationships.
That's
like Nate's
me,
my
though.
brother. I got a key to Nate's crib where his family lay their head. Like that's what you have, but you have that relationship with people, Spike Lou. Like that would be insulting. Nate would get insulted if I asked him, how much do you want for this? He would literally be like, bro, I'll slap the shit out you. Like, we family, dog. Like, there's got to be, before anything of money or anything came back, we used to barter. We used to trade our gifts, do whatever. But there's something about looking out. Like, not even looking out like I'm begging or asking. But, yo, we are you. It's not because of anything else other than you are my brother. You are my literal family, bro. Like, my kids call you uncle. Like, I'm not going to sit here and charge you for that. The same way I wouldn't charge him if he wanted to start a podcast. That's insane to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, but that's for the people that you don't know that's trying to get the game. Like, if I went to somebody I didn't know and didn't have a relationship with, then I expect all stops to be rolled out. If they want me to pay for them for their time, that's cool. But somebody I'm, like, have a relationship with, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to call Matt and Matt be like, yo, I got to charge you for this phone call. Like, we have a relationship since we were 16 years old. Like, he's never gonna do that. Like, bro, he just wants to help me get to where I want to be because we have that relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? I put my niggas on, my niggas put their niggas on. Like, that's kind of what it is. So it's not. I don't understand the mental block of like being able to ask your peoples for help.
I don't know what it is, but I understand what you're saying, but I still feel like when you approach somebody about something that they do professionally, you should, in my opinion, always start with, I want you to be compensated for this because you worked hard at getting as good as you are. Like, I couldn't ask Dave to come cook or cater anything for me for free. Like, if we did a podcast pop-up event, I could ask him, but I just wouldn't do that.
That's different. You know, that's a little bit different.
Because he put in service work. Okay.
You put in service work. That's a little bit different. I think.
Like, okay, so my homeboy got a trash company. I couldn't ask him, hey, bro, I just had this party. I need you to bring a truck over here and it's clear all this. I gotta give you something.
I got you. No, okay. I understand that completely. Especially even if they told me, even if they said, hey, it's nothing, I'm still tossing you something. Like, I refuse to let this happen. But see, like, there's plenty of times.
So I look at our work and what you saying that the artists that, like, I look at it in the same sense for me.
But like, that's because that's who we are.
Do something that I'm really good at.
Yes. No, all right. So I think that comes down to who we are. So let's use the example of service work is difficult because I do believe in paying people for their time, for their service, and things like that. If it's a conversation where I'm just trying to gain some knowledge, and you my mans, like, that would sound crazy. I can imagine talking to somebody like, well, hey, bro, like, I gotta charge you if I'm gonna give you this information. Like, what? Like, we my man. If it's a stranger, I get it. But my mans. Like, that's insane to me. Like, imagine on every Monday we get on the phone and you ask me a question. I'm like, I don't know, Spike Lou. I'm gonna send an invoice. All right, let me hear you out. Let me hear you out.
That's not what I'm saying, because that is crazy. You're absolutely right. That's crazy. What I am saying is the person that's going to and approaching it in that manner, there should be a consideration as to, well, this information not free, even if that's my man's or not. The information or the process or whatever it may be, it's not free. They didn't learn, the person that you're asking to pick their brain from, they didn't wake up yesterday and figure this shit out and they're able to relay it to you. It took 10, 15 years of blood, sweat, tears. So you wanting to compensate them is just like you wanting to compensate Dave for something that he did, or just like it's not just a conversation, especially if you're serious about your idea, right? It's consulting at that point. And again,
it's all right. So maybe we're looking at this from two different lenses. I'm looking at it as, hey, I just need your opinion on this. I'm not looking at, so let's say, for example, I said, hey, Nate, I really want to learn how to draw. Like, I want you to teach me how to draw. Like, I would never sit there and expect Nate to teach me how to draw and not compensate him or not be compensated for that.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I got you.
This is more so like, hey,
but you would take a logo for free from him. Like, I look at that as the same way that I look at what Dave does or what somebody that does a trash service does, right?
Yes, because I would ask like, oh, that's dope, how much? And he would like give me a middle finger. Like, bro, this is, because normally what happens is he'll explain his process to me. Like, so he made a logo and I'm like, oh shit, this is dope how you do it. And sometimes he was just like, yo, I just threw it like an idea for your podcast in Chat GPT. I didn't even make this. Or, you know, I just sketched this while I was on lunch break. This shit took me 15 minutes. Like, you know, like,
but that don't take away from that don't take away from his, you still went to him and he has a creative ability to do it, right?
But it's what it does for him, it takes away from our brotherhood. Like, how are you any different from anybody else if I'm sitting here treating you and charging you like a customer? You my brother. Like, literally my brother.
See, I look at it both ways though. Like, what you're saying is you're my brother. Yes, I understand it, but I am your brother in the sense of I want you to be good. And if I got it and you took time out to do it, then here.
Because it's a quick second. Like I said, if he took 15 minutes, you know how long it takes for him to actually do a piece? Days and weeks. Like, he's talking about like, this is, and he's the one telling me. Like, I always ask, yo, this is nothing to me. Like, this is easy. Think about how easy it is for you to get up and talk or podcast. This ain't shit for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody asks me a podcast question, man, you can pick my brain all day. That's easy. That's like riding a bike. I can do this shit in my sleep. Like, so I don't feel the need to charge people for that. Now, if I sit there and say, hey, Nate, I got a piece that I want you to draw that's going to take him 2 months. And by the time he finished, I'm like, I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for that. And I hang it up. And I think that it's free. That's crazy. So I think it's related to the service that you get, and it's not really a service. It's me talking it up with my mans. Like, I'm asking you a question. Even if I just thought, hey, what do you think about this as a consumer? I'm not going to, you going to charge me to pick my brain for, like, you know, a study test? Like, nah, like that's the relationship is what does it. And there's certain people where if I did ask them that and we didn't have that relationship, I would expect there to be some, yo, I will pay you for your time. I would do that each way, but I'm personally not going to charge my brother something the same way I know my brother's not going to charge me if it doesn't take time. Now, if it take, like I said, if you're working on some project for me for like days or weeks, I'm going to compensate you whether you want that money or not. That's just who I am. I'm going to pay you for your time and your skill.
I understand where we disconnected at now. It's the different phases of let me pick your brain.
That's why I said, like when I say pick your brain, I'm not coming to you for the blueprint.
So yeah, if we having
I
coffee,
have an idea.
If we having coffee, you got an idea, cool. Yeah, of course, you my brother. I'm gonna tell you, we can meet up, do all the things. It's if now that you have picked my brain and you want to continuously pick my brain to get your idea to the next stage or the next point, I feel like you should compensate people for that.
You should, maybe, depending on who they are. Once again, so for example,
see, I don't think
here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. I was on the phone with Matt.
Okay,
talking about these decks. Matt told me, he said, yeah, he breaks it down for me. Then he says, all right, bet. When you're ready for this, I can connect you with someone and we can get this done for you. Like, he's not taking anything. Now, would the person that builds the deck for me charge me something? Maybe.
You got to pay them. Yeah.
Maybe. But he's not charging me as like a finder fee or a connection fee. It's like, you my man. I want to see
not no finder's fee or connector's fee. I'm saying if I'm actively in the trenches with you, like if you come, like if you had went to Matt and been like, I need, this is the next stage where I'm trying to be at, and he responds, you say, yeah, you're going to need decks. and your response is like, hey, damn, I don't know how to do that. Like, how do you do decks? And he's like, that's you picking his brain. He gave you what you needed to figure out on the next stage of what you want to do. If he is continuing to help you build those decks out, make sure that they're correct, like I won't even say taking time, but just giving you the expertise of something that I've been through that I had to figure out. Like, to me, that's an invoiceable thing.
He could, but he
Homeboy
won it. That's what I'm saying. He won it. There's certain people
no,
you just want to see win.
As his homeboy, you should want him to, because that's his business. That's like you going to your homeboy.
But that's not his business. That's what I'm saying. That's not his business.
Part
of
it, though. It's part of what built his business.
He didn't do that on his own.
But that's like you going to your homeboy restaurant and expecting to eat free because you know it.
Nah, I would never do that. That's what I'm saying. The same thing with Nate Artwork. I wouldn't do that. All he's doing is saying, hey, I know a person. Let me point you in that direction. Here's what you need, or here's what my thoughts are. He's not doing any service other than, hey, I got a few questions.
I'm saying if he did do the service for you, like, let's
different.
Say
that's different.
Okay,
but he's not doing those services. He'd had somebody do it for him. I can connect you with my person that did mine, and then from there, there's some business involved. You got to pay them whatever. But he's not going to sit there and say, hey, since I kind of helped you out and connected you, why don't you go ahead and pay me for my time? Neither. That's like, no, you my man. I want to help you out.
That's slimy. I don't mean like that, but I just feel like there's a thin line between transactional and friendship that we skirt over a lot in our community, and we expect things to be free or to be able to pick people's brains because they have done things.
I think you're talking about services. I'm talking about conversations.
Like the conversation is cool, but I'm talking about what does that person do for you beyond the conversation? So what's the next step of it? Like, are you continuously having these free conversations with them as you build out what you're trying to build out? Like, there's value in that, right? Like, that person is a consultant to you at that point in the business world.
They a friend. They a friend. That's like me and Spike Lee, man. I told you plenty of times, like, bro, I'm in the Spike Lee business. I want to help you out. I would never once for a second say, Spike Lee, man, you need to pay me for this. Like, that's crazy. You my man.
Because I would pay you, though. Like, I would just send you the money.
Nah,
like, you wouldn't have no say in it because you're doing a service for me. Like, I would. There's no say that you.
Like,
yes,
that's disrespectful to me.
It's not because you're doing something of value.
It's like when you with your mans. That's like when you with your mans and you say, you ask your man, you hungry? I ain't got no money. I ain't asked if you had any money. I asked if you was hungry. Like, I got you, bro. You my dog. You fam. Like, I'm not asking you if you like got money. I got you because you my mans. It's that similar mindset. Like, whatever you need. Now, if I was putting in hours and hours and hours of work, that's different. But hey, you need to pick my brain about something, sure. You need to talk to me about something, sure. Like, that's whatever. That's what I'm here for. Once again, because the relationship is there. It's not like, hey, I have a friend who's interested. If you told me, hey, I got a friend who's interested in podcasting, I want to connect y'all, that's different because you're not my mans, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm treating this like a business interaction. But if you come to me and say, hey, I want to get your thoughts on this, that's us building together. We work together, bro. Like, we share this space. Like,
I'm established that you're right. We on the same page as that. I think the next step is where we disagree at.
Okay.
As far as, okay, we have this conversation. You have picked my brain, but you're continuously picking my brain, and so, you're picking my brain to the finish line.
Maybe I'm not asking you the right
questions. There's value in that.
I'm not asking you the right questions. I just realized this. All right, so let me back up some. So what does continuously pick your brain look like? So how often is that? So I come to you with the first thing and say, hey, I want to pick your brain on this. I'm going to get your thoughts. Boom, boom, boom. We do that. How many times do I have to come back before you start looking at it like, hold up? Like, you know what I mean? Before it becomes transactional. Because I want to say for the record.
There's not a time frame on it, but I want to be clear. There's not a time frame on it. I think that there's like you go back to the service and the food part of it. It's how much am I applying to this idea? How much of my knowledge of me being a service matter, a subject matter expert, how much of that am I applying to your idea that's taken away from time that I'm doing something else or could be doing something else? Yes, you, my man. Yes, I do have an invested interest in you being successful. However, and again, this is why I take it off the person that we're talking about, you and I, and the person asking for it. This is who I'm talking to should be thinking this way. It's not that I expect anything. I want to be very clear in this conversation that we have it. I agree with you. Like all my people got unlimited access to the information that I have. Absolutely. Because I want to see them succeed. I want to see the same things.
Yeah.
The point of view that I'm speaking from is the person that's asking should consider these things. Because sometimes it looks like you just trying to get as much free information as you can, and that don't sit right with the person who's done the things all the time. Like that's the point that I'm speaking from. Like I don't as like what I am in total agreement with you and what you're saying, and the people that I love, like you, like all the people that I love, nigga. No, ain't no, don't cash at me shit. Like no, like nigga, here go the information that you're looking for. But the person on the other side is asking me for it. I would like them to consider, hey, this nigga been doing this for however much. Like if I'm going to ask him for this, I can at least send you this for lunch. Hey, grab you some lunch. Great to do this, or let me pay you. Or how much do you charge people usually for this information, or what you're doing for me?
That's
like there's a lot of questions that you can ask, because sometimes I feel like the person that's asking the question from the expert, the friend that they have is really good in this field, they diminish their value because that's their friend. And that being their friend, they feel like they got free access to the information when it don't work that way.
Now that I agree. So, all right, let me clear up a couple of things. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. It's not you and I. I think you and I are on the same page. I'm talking about the listeners. I want to make sure people understand my mindset with this. I'm 1,000%. I'm very anti. If my man's got a business, I'm anti asking for a discount. I'm going to pay full price. I'm going to do everything. Like I don't believe in any of that. Everything Spike Lou's saying about the service, I get it. I believe in paying people. I don't expect anything free because somebody's my friend. And I think what you just said is probably the perfect way of how you look at it. It's not necessarily, it's the consideration, it sounds like. It's a consideration, hey, let me approach the conversation. So instead of saying, hey, Spike Lou, let me pick your brain about this podcast idea, you would like it to be, hey, Spike Lou, I know you've been in this space a while. I got an idea. I would like to help for you. How much would that cost me? If I came at you with that, you might look at it as, hey, bro, like you now is giving you the option of, can I charge? Or like, nah, you my man, you ain't got to worry about it. But it feels like you appreciate the consideration that, hey, I am in this space. I'm good at this space. And you're taking that into account before you just come up and just like blow up my line with these ideas. You're taking into consideration that I'm good at this. I have value in it. And you want to pay me for my service. And at that point, they're giving you the decision to say, you ain't got to worry about it. I'm not charging you for this. Is it the consideration that you think that separates?
Great question. And yes, it is the consideration, and it don't have to be off the initial. Like you said, if we talking about friends, we talking about the group, the circle, or whatever it may be, whether it's an extension of you and me talking to somebody that you know. Like if we're talking about the circle of people that we trust and fuck with, we like, we love, whatever it may be that you put on the relationship. I'm not talking about the initial conversation. That's fine. Like I'm the people that have access to me, I love them enough to have a conversation with them, picking my brain and me picking their brain. That's fine. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a continuous brain picking. Then the consideration needs to come into account. It's like, well, there are a lot of people that want. There are a lot of people that want this information, and I could charge them for it. I just want you to acknowledge what I'm giving you is valuable. You know it, and I know it, and I don't know if it's. I don't think it's an ego thing. Maybe it's a personality thing. I want you to acknowledge like what you're asking me and what I'm telling you. Like this is valuable information. I've used it. I've been successful with it. I made money from it. So, like you said, the initial brain picking, that's fine, bro. Like me and you friends, we're having a conversation. But if it turns into you calling me every day, you continuously hitting me up with stuff where you want me to figure this out with you, then at some point there's a consideration that needs to be had. Like, well, hey, bro, I know you're doing a lot in helping me build this. What I owe you? You know, like that's and I can say nothing. Or I can say this is what I usually charge, this is what I charge you. But there is some consideration from, I think we don't do well in our community. And I ain't talking about black, I'm talking about creatives in general. Creatives or people that's just in the space. We don't do well in our community in taking into consideration that what people do and what they build platforms or whatever it may be, there's value in that. So if you're asking me questions about it, it's fine for us to have an initial conversation. But if you hit me up every week and you got a question or you got this, that, and the third, like, there should be some consideration to, hey, bro, I respect the information that you're giving me. Like, how much do I owe you? Like, that just should be there. That's just
I understand. I agree. I agree with you 100% on that. I do.
Okay.
Like, if it's continuous like that, yeah. I think
All
when
right, so that's what
started this conversation, I'm thinking about like just initial. I need one little small thing or just your advice or your opinion. That's what I was thinking. Like, hold on, man. Like, yeah, that's what I'm like. Hold on, Spike Lou. Like, damn.
No,
like,
that's crazy. I realized once we talk more that that's
you
what
never
you
know what you,
man.
You never know what you, Spike Lou.
Yeah, I can't deny that. But no, I realize as we talk more, that's how you understand it. And I'm not saying that. I'm not that much of an asshole. But like I said, and even then, when it is in that situation, it still may be like what you saying. I need to get out of here. I ain't charging you nothing. Like I enjoy doing this with you. I want to see you be successful at it. Like it could be that type of response, but just the consideration that what I'm giving you is valuable goes a long way in what we do, versus you just continuously asking the nigga, "Can I pick your brain?"
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, 100%. I think that's a necessary. It's discernment and it's consideration and all of those things, which also go into friendship. I know we spend a lot of time talking about friendship and people being your mans. That's also goes into it. On the other hand, like you mentioned, if you're the person asking, take those things into account. Don't take advantage of your friendship with people. Don't, I personally, and I think we just built like that, you and I, to where I've never, even if it was like something that could be beneficial to me, or hey, like there's an event and I know my man's can give me some tickets for it. You know what I mean? I don't even want to take advantage of that because I don't want to muddy up I don't want to border or cross the line of the friendship versus transaction. Like, you know what I mean? So one thing I never did, I never would reach out to Matt like, hey, these shoes dropping, man. Can you set aside, pair to the side for me? Like, nah, man, that's not, because then it becomes transaction. Now it's like I'm using, because what do I have to offer? You get what I'm saying? I think about that too. If I'm going to be the one receiving in a friendship, I want to make sure I'm giving as well.
And see, I think yes, I agree with you.
It's a different conversation. Yeah. It's just more so a mentality of like what you're saying, where I wouldn't necessarily, I just use that as an example, but I wouldn't necessarily like draw from the well without having anything to put back into the well. Like, I just think that's a little bit, that's selfish, and that's taking advantage of the friend. Maybe it's not even a friendship. That's maybe taking advantage of the proximity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With true friends, that's not even an issue. You don't have to say anything or whatever the case is. So but not everybody. I think a lot of it has to do with just identifying what those relationships in your life are like. Like, sometimes not everything is a friendship or a brotherhood. Sometimes it is an acquaintance, and you have to address it as that. Like, hey, we know each other, but maybe we're not close. And I'm going to start this conversation with, yo, what do you need from me in order to do this or get this done, or who can you do that with? But there's other people like you, Mo, Phil, other people that I'm very close with, where I just know it's like, yo, I can just ask this question and it is what it is. Like, it wouldn't. It's a fine line. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad we were on the same page, because I was concerned for a second, but now you make complete sense. See, that's what the power of a conversation. Nah, nigga, you tried to make me sound. Nah, I did. I was completely lost for a second. I was like, hold on, Spike Lou. I know we ain't this. This far
like
gone.
No, not at all. Like, I'm not that.
But I
ain't that. Yeah, far gone is a good word.
But I would love to see. I would love to see you be more comfortable leaning on your people.
I don't know how to do it. That's what I'm working on.
I know.
I have no idea.
It's not an overnight thing. I don't know what the steps are, but just being able to be comfortable, having dope people. Because, like I said, they're there for a reason. Like, you got all these people. Me and you, we talk about it with me, you, and Mo.
I got some dope people around me. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like, we talk about just the fact that, like, just to think about the odds of all of us connecting, right, and being in this space, not just connected, but being in this space and really building something. You know, to where we say, like, we got the best Sopranos podcast of all time. We're building Breaking Bad. We got these other prestige shows that we're doing and all these things. And you think about the different skill sets that we have, like Mo with the producing side of it, and you just being the podcast, like, just overall, like, fucking connoisseur I feel like there's anything I can ask you of, and me kind of being the middle ground of everything, and trying to be the wheel that kind of keeps everything turning. Like all of that just matters, and it's not by coincidence. So I really believe that all the people in your life are there for a reason, and I think there's something that's going to change your overall relationships when you learn how to rely on that and just ask for a little bit of help. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying it's gonna be an overnight thing because I really believe in people being are who they are. Sometimes you got to find the common ground in your own strengths. So, like, you might just be a person that's like that, and that's cool. But it
Can you
still
help
should
me
be
out?
some.
Like that makes my skin crawl. Like just even saying, hey, can
Yeah,
you
I
give
don't
me a
know.
hand? Can you help me? It kind of even saying that kind of makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, I get it, and you know what, and that's why I don't want to be the person that's like, nah, Spike, you got to change that, because
Yeah,
that might not be for you. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a different way or a different method. But what I really think is, if you get back, or if or when you get back into therapy, and you talk to a therapist about that, I'm sure they can break it down as to where that comes from and why that's the case and what to do with those. I think that's the most important thing about therapy as we wrap things up. It's about what to do with those feelings. You know what I mean? First, you identify them, and then what do you do with them? Because sometimes it's not always. There's things that I found that I feel is a flaw that I feel like I need to change, and I've learned quickly in therapy. Like, nah, you don't necessarily have to change that. You have to be upfront and honest about it. You have to acknowledge it, and then you navigate around it this way. But you don't want to do too much change or where you lose sight of yourself. You just want to be in a comfortable spot where you're
you
able and
understand?
available to receive others and stuff like that. So there's some balance there. As long as you know, as long as it doesn't diminish your growth or deter your growth. As far as like, hey, I could have been, if you could have been 10 steps ahead if you just asked one question, but you refuse to do that, then I feel like, all right, that's really stopping the growth of Spike Lee. But if it's like,
Hmm.
hey, I need to navigate how to actually do this on my own and, you know, be available for people or whatever the case is, that's different. So it's a process, man. It's a lot. But I think you are who you are, and there's nothing with that. That's one of the best things that I'm learning. Like, it's okay to be who you are. Try to be the improved version of that. You know what I mean?
Facts,
So yeah,
facts. 2 hours we
man.
got out of this. That was good.
Yeah, man. It's a good conversation, man. Just
It
understanding
was.
you. We all gonna get there. We all gonna get better and make it to where we need to. So,
Facts.
anything else before we get out of here, man? You seeing the Odyssey this weekend?
Yeah, I got the 70 millimeter joint
So did
tickets.
I. So did I.
You did.
I'm going Sunday morning.
I'm
I'm
going
busy.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, so I got some stuff going on Saturday afternoon and evening. Sunday morning, I started making Sundays my relaxed day. Like, nothing's on my calendar on Sundays, like
Yeah.
moving forward. But I did 8:30 a.m. Sunday morning because it's
Jesus.
3 hours
So it's
long. The reason I
3
did it
hours.
because if I did it in the afternoon, by the time I finish, my day is gone. So I'm like, I'd rather
Yeah,
get it
that's what
knocked out early and still have the rest of my day to kind of do it. And I did the 70 millimeter joint as well. So
I
I'm looking
cleared my
forward to it.
Saturday out. I'm going at 4:15 for 70 millimeter joint. Now, is that different from the IMAX? Is that
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing?
it's a larger screen. It's IMAX, but IMAX on crack. You know what I
That's
mean?
what the 7, because my joint don't say. I thought it said 70 millimeter plus IMAX. It don't have to say that. It just have to say 70 millimeter, right?
Yeah, 7 millimeter is IMAX.
That is okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
I got that at 4:15 on Saturday. I'm surprised at how much that shit was like. It was sold out for Friday. I was surprised at like just the response to this
yeah.
movie.
So
But again,
it's the. You say you surprised at what?
I was just surprised that I ain't tried to get a ticket to a movie and not been able to get one in damn near a decade. This movie was like that because I wanted to go Friday, but it was like, nah, nigga, you want to sit up front? Like
Right.
any good viewing or screen that you're gonna see, nigga, you need to get tickets in advance. So I'm glad that I got my tickets today. So Saturday at 4:15, I'm going to see it.
Okay, bet. Yeah, let me know what you think. Like, just shoot me a text. Just give me like a nigga or like a
I'm
fire,
excited.
whatever
I'm
you want to
excited
think.
about it, man.
Yeah, so am I. I'm looking forward to it, man. I heard nothing but good things. So we'll see what that's like. But that's our episode, y'all. We got a little bit over 2 hours in. We appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Write in, let us know, leave a comment, the whole nine. And we'll be back next week with chapter 70 as we continue our journey, man. So Spike Lou, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you as always
Appreciate you, my brother. Good
for the
job by you.
conversation. Good job by you. We out.
Peace.